at the same time. Oh.
We are alive.
We are on brand. That's what we call that. What's going on, guys? Welcome to My Cup of Tea, episode number 21. I think I set up the StreamYard in the middle of the night last night. I just hope I'm correct. There's too much info. There's too much info to go over. We're going to break it all down. Joining me, as always, we have Carson.
Yeah, as always, I need a, refresh button. My brain is like parsed into 17 different movie slates, show slates, animation slates, consumer touch points, as they said for 17 different times. I'm all over the place. I've literally been glued to my laptop all day. I haven't got anything done that I'm supposed to get done. And now we're here to talk about it because I'm irresponsible and I like talking about movies. All right.
And also joining us, we have Evan. There's too much info.
We're so on point today. I'm super excited. A lot of stuff has happened, like not only today, but just like the past week. We had like Attack on Titan draft. I was super excited about that. Euphoria dropped, and now we have all these news drafts.
Not to mention all Hollywood blew up.
Christopher Nolan and WB are going back and forth every single day, it seems. So if we have time, we can talk about that too. But a lot of today's show is going to be about the Marvel and Disney reveals today and the SpiderVerse news, because it seems like everybody's in the Spider-Man 3 here. So I can't wait to talk about that.
Okay. First off, what's up, AJ?
What's up, AJ?
What's up?
All right.
Wow.
God, it's like the Marvel Olympics today. It really
It
does need to
is.
stretch out for
And
it. It's like
And I,
It's like B23.
more than a fan here, just
let me pull up the slate
Yeah.
is just insane. I just want to pull it up to preface, or should I pull up the Spider-Man?
Let's do the
story or
SpiderVerse
something?
stuff first. Let's do SpiderVerse
all right.
stuff.
So I was gonna write down all the Spider-Verse info that we now have, but I didn't have time. But I remember it anyway.
Yeah,
So,
it seems like a lot, but then it's just it's just confirmation of what we've been hearing.
Yeah, of
Not
stuff that we've
confirmation,
all
but
talked
just like
about.
reporters are now really diving
but
into
to that
what we
But to that point, let us break down everything that is set. I guess from newest to oldest, I suppose. Big breaking stuff. The official report, pretty much, that Alfred Molina will be returning as Doc Ock in some capacity, whether it's the same character or alternate universe otherwise. Intriguing to see how that's going to go. On top of that, rumored still, reports of Kirsten Dunst, Mary Jane, Emma Stone's Gwen Stacy, Charlie Cox's Daredevil. Hi, that is a big one. Stuff like that going on with other. I really want to just like throw out all the Spider-Verse stuff as well that all came through. So obviously Toby, Andrew. The rumors right now is that Toby's still in negotiations, whereas Andrew is signed on. So there's stuff like that. There was
What? He is not doing anything else. Toby is on this man is out in the wild.
This man's tired. He doesn't want to.
Yeah,
The man's probably just tired. He doesn't want to get like
Tired
to get
for
fit
what?
on them. To get fit on the Marvel thing is like a lot of work, and does he care that much? That's a big question. And also, but also the man could have a stunt double with a mask on and it'll be fine. But
he did that for Spider-Man 3.
yeah, well, other reports of stuff is just like, Jamie Foxx's Electro. There was a rumor originally tied with the Mary Jane Kirsten Dunst thing about something about Dane DeHaan. So that would be.
Yeah, there was a rumor about that earlier, but not this week. That wasn't a this week.
That was
rumor.
No,
That
it's
was
not.
Can I
But
just
I'm just throwing out all the Spider-Verse
Okay,
stuff.
cool.
Can I say quickly the stuff that it was one of the most briefly mentioned things in the panel today. But Kevin did confirm the late 2021 release date theatrically for Spidey, which is still crazy to me because
now
we're
I'm
gonna
on
get
board. Originally, I thought it was like they'll move it, but I feel like
right.
So,
But
I told you guys. They're gonna keep that December release date. They have to.
look, we
There's
were
too much
very
on the line.
shaky. We were
There's
in a
too much
very
on
big
the line for
shake.
2021. In 2022, they did change some release dates in regards to Thor and stuff like that and Black Panther, but most of the release dates stayed the same, including the Spider-Man one. Christmas,
Yeah, okay.
Or in
home
one
for the
year.
holiday.
And
All right, so I
Eternals
wanna-
is November, right?
Yes,
Or October.
November.
All right, I want to keep throwing the other info out there just so I can like form my own opinion as to where we're going to be going with this whole storyline.
Okay, cool. Hit us
Oh
up.
wait,
yeah.
hold up! Before you do that, I know you didn't watch the panel, and this is an important detail.
Subquota.
So during the She-Hulk announcement or whatever, they were talking about like Kevin kind of like winked, and he's like, "Oh, you know, she has like a lawyer or something or a law firm," and he's like, "You never know who." She's like, he kind of like winked. He's like, "You never know who could show up or whatever." So that was interesting because
Daredevil.
That could be a leeway into television. I could see them putting it in both based on Kevin's attitude towards like all this connectivity, which obviously we kind of knew that he was good in the first place. But I wanted to ask you because I don't have any idea about the She-Hulk character and like how that would even work if like the Daredevil character came in. Like, so
they're both
I wanted
lawyers.
to ask. Right.
I think
if they were on separate cases, that would be interesting.
Yeah, I think Matt Murdock is a pro bono lawyer, so he just does. He helps people out if they can't get a lawyer. While on the other hand, She-Hulk, I think she's not pro bono. I forget where her exact job is, but they're both lawyers, so there's a lot of interconnectivity there. They could just meet up in the courthouse. I could definitely see that.
Yeah. Before we get into all that, though, with all the big Marvel, like we got to finish up the SpiderVerse stuff because also in the info of potential of Kirsten Dunst, Emma Stone, Dane DeHaan, Alfred Molina, Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, Charlie Cox. Also, just I want to throw all the stuff for possibilities. They were big rumor we talked about. They were looking for a Joel Kinnaman type for like Craven. There, so much Sinister Six set up in whatever plot they're going for in Morbius. A lot of things. There's just a lot of things. There's a lot of elements to discuss. Jamie Foxx Electro again. All these different things. Multiverse. Doctor Strange. Benedict Cumberbatch reprising his role in the film.
Yes.
Oh, Kevin mentioned that in the panel today. He said that was the only other thing he mentioned was like, oh, it ties into Multiverse Madness, and they moved on to other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So Nathan, give us your hot takes here.
All right. Everyone relax. I don't think all this is going to overcrowd Spider-Man 3. I think it's all, especially because there's also a report. There's another report that was like, it's all seemingly just cameo appearances for Spider-Man 3, which you're not going to get. You're not going to funnel so much money into Toby for a cameo.
That's what I'm saying.
So to that point, I think it's all just going to be, you're going to get your main plot. You're going to get your main plot that we all wanted for Spider-Man 3, where we're doing the identity crisis. We got Daredevil, hopefully is a more prominent role along, and Strange stuff will hopefully be, because when you also think of like Tony in Homecoming, not that much screen time. I imagine it'll be similar with Doctor Strange, because he'll be dealing with his own bigger stuff, but also there'll be some factor things, because if we're going to go into Spider-Verse stuff, then his multiverse stuff totally can bleed over and it makes sense. So with that, I think we're going to have a whole thing where we'll have Kraven stuff be the primary villain conflict in hunting the Spider-Man. Daredevil trying to clear his name at some point, stuff like that. And they could also have cool interactions like they normally do. That'll be the main driving plot until we get to the end where we get the big multiverse explosion that's going to cross a bunch of different MCU films anyway. And I think that's when we're going to lead into another Spider-Man film, whether that's specifically Spider-Man 4 or just SpiderVerse. I think that's where we're going.
Interesting. I just don't know. I feel like with this whole Phase 4 being a whole multiverse kind of insinuation there, I think it's going to be multiverse from the jump. I think Spider-Man's going to be on the run. He's going to need a place to hide. Where's the only place that's safe in New York City? The Sanctum. So, and then like Doctor Strange will come in, does the orange portal. What if Spider-Man runs to a dark alley and then he just does a portal thing and then he just drops into Loki style into Strange's abode, Sanctum, whatever.
I think it's more complicated than that because remember,
you do?
I think, because WandaVision. Okay, I'm trying to string this together because I think Nathan's theory of like WandaVision having more impact is gonna. I think it's gonna be like a kind of a trilogy of events, loose events, not like. But I think there's gonna be some fallout either with whatever the multiverse is like after WandaVision, because I think something's gonna happen in that show that's kind of gonna change things. I don't know what exactly about reality, but like Wanda is so powerful that I feel like she could just like mess something up, and I really feel like we haven't seen like her powers or Doctor Strange powers like completely mess reality up to an extent that would like maybe affect the other movies. So I don't know if that would be the start of, but I could see both angles of just him walking into the sanctum and then go. I don't know what Doctor Strange would say, but it'd be kind of funny.
I'm still curious to see how much of an impact Scarlet Witch, the show WandaVision, has on the movies, because I keep going back to audiences might not have that cross viewership of Scarlet Witch and Spider-Man, or Scarlet Witch and Doctor Strange too. Even though we know these are going to be connected, we don't know like the fruits of that connection. We don't know how strongly like you have to watch WandaVision to even understand Doctor Strange or Spider-Man 3. So I think I'm very curious to see, because we're getting Spider-Man before Doctor Strange. So I'm very curious to see how the multiverse works there. But I still think the multiverse is going to be a central figure for Spider-Man 3. I think the main villain is going to be Electro still, since he was the earliest confirmed villain. I don't think Kraven's going to be in it. I think Electro is going to remain the main villain from the multiverse, and this is going to be an Electro that is. I think I'm predicting that this is going to be an Electro that is not from Andrew Garfield's universe. Same thing with Alfred Molina, because Alfred Molina is dead. He died, and even if he didn't die, let's say he is from Spider-Man 2 because he's in the river, and anything could happen, like a portal could happen as he's floating down the river with the sun. Even if that's the case, this guy was a redeemed villain in the end. He has no qualms against, like, he would have no vendetta against Tom Holland or even Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker if he comes into this movie. Electro was still a big villain in the end of Spider-Man 2, Amazing Spider-Man 2, I think. I forget.
Yeah, and what I was like, I went through like a roller coaster in like the last. We've been talking about this for a month, by the way. Of SpiderVerse.
Baskin Robbins, man.
I went through a roller coaster where I was worried at a point, because I was like, the way we can have our in for the connective universe is if it's the same Electro. But then they're like Alpha Brilliant, and I was like, no, don't ruin it. But then as we're just developing more, it's totally the possibility of just like you can still do the multiverse stuff. It was just like I didn't have firm confirmation connections like I feel like I'm getting now. The fact like Alfred Molina back. So now I'm more open, like, okay, official. I'm pretty sure it's going to be alternate universe stuff, and we'll deal with that. But we'll still get, since there's always the continuous talks to Tobey and Andrew, we'll still get their continuous stuff, which I do want. So I'm on board again. But
I don't know if, since we're doing this big event, this is going to be a big event for Spider-Man 3. People are going to buy their tickets on the hopes that they get to see Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. I don't know if they're going to sign up for another movie, though. I don't know if this is going to be just a setup for a Spider-Man.
I think it could be a scenario where they're just kind of like filming it together. Like they'll probably like when they finally start filming production on like the actual SpiderVerse film, they'll probably like get the early shots while they're still making Spider-Man 3, and then like take those shots for the setup of the actual movie that will lead in, because they do that with Marvel all the time.
They do. I don't want 2 movies about multiverse for Spider-Man. Like, I feel like one is enough for Spider-Man. I mean, I'm fine with that on the animated side, because that's what the whole premise is, called Into the Spider-Verse. For Spider-Man in the MCU, is kind of what I wanted for Spider-Man 3, but I want a grounded Spider-Man. If you do a multiverse in Spider-Man 3, and then another multiverse in the Spider-Man 4 or a Spider-Verse movie in general, it just seems like a lot of multiverse.
And logistically, now with the John Watts news, which we'll talk about later, he's booked elsewhere. So I don't think he would be. I think you had to have a same director of Spider-Man 3 and the Spider-Verse, whatever, Spider-Man 4 movie, for the production to collaboratively work and flow together. If you're making those 2 movies back to back.
Good point. Yeah.
I mean, not necessarily if like we go off of like every Avengers film they've made, like they didn't have the same standalone connector. So it's certainly possible that it doesn't have to be that way. And it is fascinating, like, as to think like who they would get for a Spider-Verse film instead of Watts. I think Watts will like stay on as like a producer, as like the same way like Favreau's attached to every Iron Man project that is an Iron Man.
Right. So you think Watts is done after Spider-Man 3? Now that kind of like definitively that he'll bookend his trilogy and then move on for good from Spider-Man projects? I think
it could be, especially if he's going to be moving, like if Peter himself is going to be moving forward into like probably like the college era.
Yeah, I think Sony's whole model here is a Spider-Man movie every other year. We have one in 2017, 2019, 2021, and we'll get one in 2023, possibly 2023 or 2024 at the latest. It just seems like they're going to keep on moving with these things. Hey, I think we'll warn the others to Spider-Man about Venom.
I think that would come down to the case if which is also a thing I believe based off of. Remember when I went on a tangent randomly about like this Venom costume having a spider logo? Anyway.
So what do you think?
Well, what I think, originally I thought this was like, is this a theory that Venom takes place in Tobey's universe? But no, I think it's I think it's more a sense of just like if we have Venom show up for like some sort of Sinister Six thing, that probably since Tobey has experience with symbiote before, they'll probably will implement some sort of knowledge. I think that could happen for sure because Venom works the same way in both films with like the reaction to fire and sonic waves being his weakness. So,
yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Broader question: are we going to get now that we kind of have an idea that these villains are going to be like alternate, or at least some of them are going to be from alternate dimensions?
Yeah, we don't have a confirmation yet. That's what it seems like. Yeah,
but given that a different Electro costume, I guess, and then the Alfred Molina just literally being dead in universe, unless somehow the timelines revert and like get into those mid-story, which I would just not like at all if it like intruded on that, which would I wouldn't like, which would be really weird. And I don't think Raimi would like that either.
No. And he's currently working in the Marvel wheelhouse with Doctor Strange's Multiverse.
So yeah, and he knows if those films are definitely tied together, then yeah.
Even to that point, I feel like Sam probably has some sort of like hand in like dealing with his type of characters, because I don't think Alfred Molina would necessarily come back to such a project without Sam's involvement.
Right. You think he come back?
I don't know, man. I mean,
I really need Sam to be in this one. Well, he's not, man. Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't think he cares.
But what was I gonna say though? Like, so I guess for forever we've been hearing like, oh, are they gonna establish the Sinister Six and like all these like little post-credit scenes? Can we have a Sinister Six that is built up across different dimensions, and does that work for you guys?
I think that depends on how the plot's going to go in terms of assembling it and who's going to be the ringleader, essentially.
Yeah, I guess that's the bigger question.
This is what my theory is. I think throughout Spider-Man 3, these are going to be villains from the multiverse, but it's kind of a complaint that we've had for the last two Spider-Man villains where they're not really upset about Peter Parker. Vulture's upset about Tony Stark. Jake Gyllenhaal's upset about Tony Stark. Mysterio's upset about Tony Stark. And then these multiverse villains, hence the multiverse, they're not going to have a vendetta against Tom Holland's Peter Parker because they're from different universes. But
maybe
throughout the course of Spider-Man 3, I think throughout the course of Spider-Man 3, these multiverse villains then could grow to have a evil sentiment towards Tom Holland's Peter Parker, and then that will spin off to a continuation where these multiverse villains stay within the MCU universe, and then they together construct a multiverse level construct of the Sinister Six. So then you get your Alfred Molina leading the Sinister Six, you get your Electro, you have your Scorpion already, you have your Vulture already, and then like Spider-Man 4, that could be your Sinister Six.
So it becomes
for sure. And I think
the idea of Peter Parker is evil. We must destroy all Peter Parker.
Well, no, I think it's actually going to be more of a sense of like, since they're already coming from a universe that no doubt is going to have an existing Spider-Man. It's also quite possible that you will have more team up of Spider people than just Toby, Andrew, and Tom, and having them bleed through with these villains, which is
Spider-Man 3.
In the SpiderVerse, not Spider-Man 3. I think you'll get like this whole time I've like pitched like I don't think Spider-Man 3 is going to be the big Spider-Verse like big involvement. I know you guys are like pitching that for like the villains and stuff, but I still think it's going to be the Craven through line. But when we get to the Spider-Verse stuff, I think like also Emma Stone's involvement. Like I said, I don't want to like with Alfred Molina, I don't want to like rip that storyline out. I want it to be a Spider-Gwen. I think that would be way cooler. I think that'd be awesome for Emma, and I think it would be, again, that the most prominent storyline I want in the Spider-Verse is the whole idea of Spider-Gwen and Andrew's Spider-Man meeting, but like they lost each other in their respected universes, so there's like a mind thing there.
I would I would love all of that. I just don't think it's going to happen. I think, and that's what kind of, I'm not super hyped about Emma or Kristen coming back, because they seem to be just like they'll be there to introduce Peter, their respective Peters, and then that'll be it. Like they're not going to have a real arc, which gets me super nervous because they seem to be all just cameo roles, and I'm cool with the cool cameo. I get to point at the screen and say that's cool. But I want them to do more than just like, hey, yeah, this is Toby's Peter and this is Andrew's Peter.
But that would mean that Emma is playing an alive Gwen Stacy prior to her death, and that conflicts the timeline. And I don't want that.
Right.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. I guess
it also,
which is why I can see like Electro and Doc Ock potentially coming. That would be a good like start pairing to build the Sinister Six, and it could come from like the Spider-Gwen universe maybe or something. And then they could start like while they're hopping, start to assemble like or take down these Spider-Men.
Yeah, I just don't want this. I don't want this to do too much too fast, and I'm worried that like I don't want Tom's Peter Parker to be steamrolled, and because I really think this has the best setup of like you give Spidey the quite literal identity crisis, and like he has to deal with that, and that's a lot more personal because he's going to be a lot more stranded, and I think the multiverse is both the biggest opportunity and the biggest threat to that because it has the most options. He'll have the most options for help, and there'll be all sorts of stuff they can like figure out. And so it's like part of me is just like I want that Peter Parker in his apartment in New York, just like struggling. Like I just want that.
Yes,
me too.
I don't know.
A regular high top here, but no,
no. I just like, and maybe it will be like that in the first act. Like I could be sitting here, and maybe it will totally establish that, and then I'll be on board for when it ramps up.
Yeah, I mean the whole deal is tricky. I mean the fact that like we have Strange as like a mentor figure, like everyone's like, can't we have the normal Peter Parker story? But like contract wise, it's just like it's a requirement from Sony. So
that's what I'm thinking. Like, was that ever confirmed? That it's a requirement to have at least one MCU person.
I think so. Because like forever ago, they're always establishing that it's like it has to be like a requirement. They can't just like on their own like the Spidey story. It has to like feature MCU stuff to keep the deal kosher.
Even then, they could introduce Doctor Strange to just introduce the concept of the multiverse. And then he just bats out towards the end of the movie. I don't need him to be a mentor. Just help him out in the beginning, and then that's it. Yeah,
which I wanted to like to that point address comment here.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, I know you would definitely want 2099 to show up. I don't think. I mean, it's totally possible to have like more Spider people just around, but like they're just like, however the assemblance goes, and we're just like not getting to know them because we're staying with our core group. But I don't think the multiverse stuff is going to come from technology stuff like the Collider and Into the Spider-Verse. I think it's going to spawn from Doctor Strange's magic and Wanda's magic, stuff like that. The multiverse stuff that like they travel through. Just in their own realms that way. I don't think it's going to be science, but it might have to eventually come science-based. Say if they get stranded somewhere or something, I don't know, or they could just have an artifact that helps them get through. Anything is possible. It's comics. Anything could go.
I think it would be cool if like because we've already seen in Doctor Strange like the threat of the Sanctums. You know, if the Sanctums fall, you know we're screwed. Right? Like something like that where they would have to like work. Peter would have to like work back and like solve that problem of like you know, Strange can't fix it, so Peter's got to work himself out and think about a solution to like figure out how he's gonna like protect and like kind of like reset this you know universe or whatever they're gonna be working towards. Because I think that's gonna be a big part of it is like trying to like stabilize at least something.
Yeah.
So I'm curious because I think that's totally Peter Parker, and I hope it isn't just like that's one of my issues was. The first two in this trilogy is like, oh, we're gonna go on the Quinjet and get some Iron Man tech. I want more of like Peter to just think out of his scenarios and like you know be Peter Parker in a way.
Sure.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Going back to that original comment, I would have loved Spider-Man 2099 eventually. Like I know Sony's doing the Silk. There's a rumor they're doing Spider-Woman with Booksmart, Olivia Wilde. So there's a possibility down the line we could just get a separate Spider-Man 2099 movie.
What about animation too? Like if the
animation, Oscar Isaacs, they could do a spin-off of that too. I would love that.
Yeah.
I think that's a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
And I also like wanted to address because like I saw a lot of people. You guys think Doctor Strange will bump into Madam Web? Now that's interesting. Wasn't there a Madam Web project in development?
There was.
Yeah, there was.
Hopefully, it's not in continuation. Hopefully, they.
I mean, I would be down to see a capacity of Madam Web in the Spider-Verse. I mean, because she's already such a mysterious being in and of itself. But I did want to address because I saw a lot of people on the timelines, like just in the whole thought of the Spider-Verse, a lot of people are like, "I want Miles. When are we gonna get a Miles confirmation?" And I want to address that to the fact of like, yeah, he could pop up from like a different dimension or somewhere, but I feel like it's just too early because I know the MC wants to eventually get to Miles. They set him up like a little Easter egg sprinkle in Homecoming with Donald Glover's Aaron Davis. And granted, I was also forgetting like how much time has passed because that was 2017, and
that's what I was about to say. Yeah, they did a whole 5-year time scale or 3-year, whatever.
Yeah,
time scale.
By Endgame, and who's to say when actually Spider-Man 3 itself is going to pick up? Well, probably right after Far From Home because we have a pressing matter. Right? Yeah, so that's like a 5 years. So if you like were to take whatever age Miles could have been, I always for some reason imagined him to be like a toddler age at the time of Homecoming,
really?
But for some reason.
Like a kid,
but
like a
he could
7-year-old, 8.
Yeah, he could be like 8, and if he's 8 and he had like 5, quick math, then he could be like 13.
Be like 13, yeah.
And then you can, and because he's supposed to be that like young anyway. So like I think when you get to like the next set of Tom films that I know Marvel wanted to do, and get to like that college portion, I think that's when you could start implementing Miles. And I would love for them to like not rush the Peter death storyline because I love what they're doing in the Miles Morales game where like they're both still coexisting in the world. It's just like Miles has to take on his own stuff, Peter has to do his own stuff, but you know there's
college
like,
sets it up perfectly. Like Peter has to leave for college, Miles left in the city or whatever. It just
stuff like
itself.
That. Yeah, it would be great, and like it will also be great to like have more movies to establish their friendship. So when the time does come where Peter is taken from us, it's even more emotionally impactful, not just for us, the audience, but like Miles as well.
How long is that even gonna take for Marvel to have the balls to kill Tom Holland off?
As long as it takes. Look, they did.
I'm with you.
Iron Man is probably their biggest cash cow.
And it took them 12 years, nearly 12 years.
11, yeah.
11 years. That's crazy. So 11 years for Tom.
Well, they want to do 3 trilogies with Tom. Like, that's crazy.
They could get 7, 8
Tom's got 2030. He'll be fine.
Yeah, they can do it forever. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he could quite literally be Spider-Man for as long as he lives, really. Yeah. They can do it as long as Spider-Man movies.
As long as he's got that soft complexion, he's got it. But
yeah. But yeah, I'm excited for Spider-Man 3. I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm also a little bit excited. Like I can't lie, I'm excited to see Andrew and Toby in it. That's cool. I'm just nervous to see like how much this is going to veer away from Tom's story.
I agree. That is the portion. I imagine some form of marketing for sure, but I don't think in marketing in like a sense it's just like, oh my god, Tom and Andrew are here. Even though Sony has very bad track record of like putting too much into trailers. Yeah, I think it'll just be like a big like setup of like the Spider-Man series is coming and it's going to be insane. I think I don't know when SpiderVerse would come in the timeline. Well, okay, now I take it back. I don't think they would they might like announce it like officially in like reports, but I don't think you'll see like marketing of it until the actual movies come in because I think they want to save the surprise even though it's out. But yeah, I am also worried about how this film is going to go because I do want everything to go good with Peter's storyline. I don't want it to be overcrowded, which is why I'm so confident that they're going to do the Daredevil stuff with him primarily with hints of Doctor Strange that will eventually lead to its own Spider-Verse film.
Which is what I want. I think, but regardless of all the Spider-Verse stuff, I'm most excited to see Daredevil, even though according to the rumors, because Daredevil was more of a rumor than the Tobey Maguire at this point or the Andrew Garfield. Like those news are getting like corroborated by Collider, Deadline, THR. Daredevil is just from some rumor sites that usually have gotten stuff correct. And even then, they're saying that Daredevil is going to have just the same amount of screen time as Toby or Andrew, like not that much.
Which can still work for sure, because I'm not expecting it to be like a buddy cop style like film.
No, yeah,
back and forth. I think it gets and it was also interesting because like the report I was reading was like or part of the rumor was that Charlie was actually like officially brought back in some capacity like a few months ago, apparently, for whatever in this project. I mean, I don't know if I don't think it's legal to like start work on the production, but I think maybe if it's just like to be in talks, it's just like, all right, when the time comes, when the contract runs out around this time, we're starting production. Perfect time.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I mean, I remember you can have him in the office and be like, oh, untitled role. Wink, wink. Like, oh yeah, we're I think at the office. Like,
and I think probably at most, and I would also still love to see like more future Spider-Man Daredevil stories down the line, because they have a shared common enemy with Kingpin. I think it would be fun. So what I think would probably happen, you probably get like 2 scenes in Spider-Man 3 with Daredevil. You probably get one in the suit running into him, probably while Spidey's like freaking out, running around. He may end up like somewhere in Hell's Kitchen and like bump into the dude, have some sort of cooperation there. And then like later down the line, when we're actually dealing with the public court stuff, that's when Matt Murdock can come in as the official lawyer and stuff and try to like sway things that way.
This movie's gonna be insane. Get probably
someone also put like a weird theory that I never thought of because I didn't anticipate the Spider-Verse. I was always saying a great way to trick the public would be to have a Skrull be Peter and have Peter be in a spider suit to differentiate that they're separate people. But then somebody recommended, what if another Spider-Man was in the court, like in suit, being Spider-Man while Peter is actually there? And I was like, that's a lot more.
It's a lot easier.
I think that also like contradicts what I want, because it's like I want to get to the big Spider-Verse stuff set up, but then into its own film. I don't think they're all going to be buddy by like right off the bat. I think there's going to be like, what the hell's going on here? Things you got to explore, and too much is going to be rolling so fast with Sinister Six stuff to like take time to like, hey, could you help me out with this? Like, I don't think I'll do that.
I mean, I'm thinking like Sinister Six is the setup movie instead of Spider-Verse next. But that'd be either cool.
You think Sinister Six is its own movie?
No, I mean, I think Spider-Man 4 will be Sinister Six, not having Toby or Andrew or any of them. But
well, I think that'd be the Spider-Verse conflict. I think it would be like the head-to-head in the Spider-Verse film is the Sinister Six. Because then, like, really, I don't think Sony's like, they've been trying forever to get Sinister Six. I don't think they're going to be greedy of like, let's have 2 big cash cow events. Like, no, you can make it one really cool one and make your money that way. I think
that's what scares me.
I know.
I don't know, but there's just too many events for Spider-Man. Like Spider-Man 3 is already going to be a big event.
Yeah. Speaking of the court case or like whatever it's going to be, I think a really powerful arc for Peter would be owning his identity in like clearing his name. You know what I mean? Like to the public, he's still right.
Like,
well, I don't know if he'd be ready for. I don't know if he'd be ready for that at that point.
Yeah, he can't reveal.
Like, do I wait for the second trilogy to do that, or like?
Well, I addressed that. So, like in the comics, for like back in the Civil War event, like he unveiled his identity to the public. But
they got retconned.
Well, yeah, they had a lot of stuff did, because I think that was retconned in the One Bad Day storyline, which everyone hated. Yeah, but anyway, in the MCU though, he was literally introduced to us first in the Civil War event, so it's like that's crazy. But what I think the issue would be here, and I think I discussed it in past podcasts. I'm starting to lose my train of thought. We're talking about his identity. Yeah, so with like every other superhero, basically that is in the known MCU, pretty much has their identity outed already, which works for them because they have so much protection. They're either like billionaires who have their own defense security, or they have the defense of SHIELD or whoever they're working with, the government or whatever, because they're like just agents of a higher power normally. Like even if they work on their own accord, they're still being funded and protected by somebody else. Peter is literally just a kid with a costume, and he does not want to endanger his loved ones. He addressed it as much in Far From Home to Nick Fury trying to like bargain that. So I don't think he can deal with that, especially with how large of a rogues gallery he keeps building up. So it's too dangerous, especially with all of his existing classmate friends that we see every day.
That makes 100% sense to me, but also I don't want them to write something like, "Oh, Tony Stark left you a death gift. Here's all this stuff," or like.
I don't think he's gonna be the next Iron Man. Maybe like metaphorically in like a mentorship when he's older, but I don't think he's gonna be like Iron Man.
No,
I
I just mean like resources and stuff to like fight these people and like, he's more protected than you think he is because he's got these people on
that
his
would
side.
be an interesting storyline to explore, like in the sense if they did the Superior Spider-Man storyline, which is really cool one where like Peter and Otto switch brains, but then Peter dies in Otto's body, but a piece of his brain is still connected in his own body, and he has to fight his literal mind back to take control over it. It's insane.
It's crazy. I loved it.
Wow. But also like to that point in Superior Spider-Man, Otto is legitimately a better Spider-Man. Like he can literally like he's so efficient on saving the city while also maintaining his personal life, and he has like Parker Industries established and stuff, like all this stuff. He has like surveillance drones around, spider drones around to like monitor the city and like keep safe. It's insane how much better of a Spider-Man he is. It's insane.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a great comic.
I gotta read that.
It's not a long run either.
No, yeah, not at all. Like again, you can find it all on Comixology, which is a great website.
Yeah. I think it's like 20 issues or less.
But I am nervous that they're going to make a gag out of the whole reveal thing, because after Captain Marvel, I also was with Nathan. I'm like, oh, so for Spider-Man Far From Home, they're just going to do the whole scroll thing where somebody disguises himself, quick, easy, done.
Well, especially since they had scrolls in Far From Home as well.
Yeah, exactly. But now with the whole Spider-Man issue, they could totally just bring in, like at the end of the movie, the last 10 minutes, hey, we're in a court case. Then Andrew Garfield swings, and boom, Spider-Man. And then it's all solved, and then JJ looks like an idiot, and then
unless they resolve it in a sense where it's like not resolved by a court case, but it's just a matter of like, hey, there's a Spider-Man roaming around the city for some reason. We don't like to them it's just like, oh, there's Spider-Man, but like Peter's probably like, what the hell is going on? That would actually be an intriguing setup, I think. To just like not understand like why this is happening until you go to explore that, and then it starts to build before we get.
Oh, like you think like a Spider-Man appeared before Peter even knows or something? Like
yeah,
that?
I actually just thought about that. Like, just like they're like, it probably would be like a big media event of just like everybody reporting like, you know, okay, the trial of Peter Parker, like, is he Spider-Man? But then it's like you get some news reports that there is a random Spider-Man swinging around, but the public's like, oh, he's out there. No, you're clear. You can go. And he's like, thank God, because I have to figure out what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
Well, also there's the instance of, oh, the SpiderMan Intimidators are copycats are popping up. Like we see that,
which is more slander for Jonah.
Right.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting.
Could be an angle too.
I just thought about this too, like the media and New York as a whole response to the Tom Holland thing. Because Spider-Man so far, what has he done? He's saved them from Vulture. He saved them from like the whole London disaster with Mysterio. And then there was Avengers.
Washington Monument.
Spider-Man was there. Washington Monument. Like Spider-Man was there with the Avengers. Like this guy is a known hero.
Yeah, no, literally, like in Far From Home at the beginning, they're just like asking him like such like big questions, like how does it feel to be replacing Tony Stark, and that freaks him out.
Exactly. So now when you bring in the concept of Peter being revealed, would there be a necessity for a court case? Like, how many people are going to go pursue legal action against Holland's Spider-Man if he's such a big hero at this point? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
and I'm sure like
weird.
Yeah, and I'm sure Happy's
Sinister
like all
Six
over
corruption.
trying to.
I don't know.
Yeah, and I'm sure like Happy's like all over this trying to like clear him and stuff, but and he's
which he has the resources. Carson brought it up. Like Tony and Happy have the resources to quickly clear it up. It is 2020. It's the media. You can do a lot of crazy things.
Deep fakes.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So it's gonna be interesting.
Isn't that like that's like a literal thing in the Miles Morales game? The villain is like, it's not real. It's deep fakes.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm curious about that. And where was I going with that? I lost my train of thought. But yeah, I'm just curious to see how people respond to him being like Peter Parker, because in the comic books he has such a known thing of like, oh, the cops are after Spider-Man. We haven't really had that. Like the cops aren't really upset about Spider-Man yet. So I wonder if Feige's slowly starting to establish that with the whole reveal.
That's a whole other angle too, which I don't see like Marvel like going into as much.
Me
Like
neither.
mostly because it seems like, oh, it's a sensitive topic, and meanwhile, like Matt Reeves' Batman is like he's in the interrogation room like beating up people. Um, that is a funny difference, but the more that I think about it, there's more like local stuff than I thought there was, and that it's not even like putting into the presentation of all the multiverse stuff that's going to affect those local events, and obviously Peter Parker, Spider-Man as a whole. So yeah, it's exciting, and it's coming out next year, which is crazy.
Next Christmas, Spider-Man Home for the Holidays. That's gonna be fun.
Is it even gonna have a home title, or are they just gonna give
it
up
and
like
it's too late now. They screwed it up. They did 2 in a row. You have to do it now. You got to complete the trilogy, the home trilogy.
I think there's a logo today that just said like I can't remember if it popped up on screen, but it just said Spider-Man 3, and the 3 was like written in like
in the font,
the
like pen font,
yeah. It has to have home in there. It has to.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't,
what is Spider-Man Guest House? Like, what is it going to be? It has to be home something.
Spider-Man Airbnb. That'd actually be hilarious.
Home improvement.
Home worlds. A lot of people are using home worlds on fan art. I'm like, what?
Well, one last comment. I'm mixed too because people keep saying like, oh, it worked for Civil War. It could work for Spider-Man 3 in terms of Civil War being Cap's story. Cap had a very emotional arc in that movie, and I love Civil War. It's my favorite Marvel movie still. I just don't think that's possible though with Spider-Man 3 because on one hand, I want these new characters like I want these new characters to have arcs. If you're going to put them in your movie, let them have like a good arc, like SpiderVerse did. But if the rumor are their cameos, which is also cool because I don't want them to handle all the screen time, then they're not going to have an arc. So it's very, I'm like up and down with what I want from this movie. I need to see more. I don't have faith in John Watts. I'm sorry. It's John Watts. We'll talk about it later on, but it's John Watts. Like, this guy seems
nothing wrong with John Watts.
There's nothing wrong. There's nothing right either. Like, he's in the middle.
He's Marvel's David Yates. I said it in my tweet today. They pull him out of the vault.
So perfect.
I put him behind the camera, but I did not expect this for John Watts.
And I like Homecoming. I really enjoy Homecoming. It's me too. It's a good movie.
It's a fun movie. Yeah.
I don't like Far From Home as much, but I have to give it another shot because I have only watched it once in theaters, so it's not fair of me to say.
Me too. I need to give it another shot.
I've bounced back and forth. I still like Homecoming the most out of everything, but
because Jake Gyllenhaal is my favorite actor of all time. But when they did the whole Tony Stark upset reveal, I'm just like, that's when I sat down in my seat. I'm like, oh no. Like, it looked so goofy when he was like, "Oh, he stole my idea, Tony Stark." I'm like, then why are you upset at Peter?
He named my life's work Barf.
They put that in the movie. I'm like, this is so dumb. But comic book, right?
Hey, that's a whole other discussion, though. We should move on because
we should. We have so much news to talk about. So let's
talk about a little bit of like all the. Like, other than Marvel, everything else basically that was announced in regards to Marvel. Investor stuff. A bunch of different shows. Right off the bat, the first thing that piqued my interest that I'm remembering, in regards to, I think, FX, they announced an Alien show that will be followed on Earth, and it will be worked with Ridley Scott himself. It's not a Covenant sequel, but damn it, I'll take it.
Well, and the main thing is it takes place on Earth, which is a huge thing we haven't seen before.
Yeah, that is. Now I'm having like
I know that is like wow.
Yeah, because if you go through like basically every like canon alien thing, they never brought the species back to Earth. So are we in like the distant future of the franchise? Where are we with this?
That's a great question. I have no idea. Like when you talk about the Earth thing, I'm like, oh, Predator has done that. Like Predator always go back to Earth somehow.
Yeah, and also to also address like the Alien versus Predator films they're not canon because they contradict their own franchise lore. So
exactly, yeah. Funny enough, Alien versus Predator was the first Alien or Predator content I ever watched growing up. Like that was the first thing I was used to. And then I watched like Alien and Predator or whatever. But yeah, anyways, like this is very exciting. Noah Hawley is a great creator. I didn't like Legion season 2 at all. But I did like Legion season 1 a lot. So there's that.
Season 1 is great. So I gotta watch.
Is there a new
2,
season
maybe.
coming or?
I think they finished it. I think they had season 3. I didn't watch it.
Yeah, there's 3
video
seasons,
dropped,
and then I think that ended.
Okay.
because season 2 ending was trash.
I heard Aubrey Plaza was good in it.
She's always good. She's great. Go watch Happiest Season, everybody.
No, go
but-
watch Blackbear. Everyone go watch Blackbear
Here we go.
immediately. It takes priority over everything. I bet one of the best movies of the year.
I watched it
Hands
this
down.
weekend. Okay, Palpatine. But he also did Fargo, which I've never watched a Fargo movie and I've never watched a Fargo TV series, so I need to get on that.
Both great.
So yeah, I'm excited for Noah Hawley. I'm excited for Alien. I'm just super excited because I kept saying Alien and Predator are 2 franchises, and Terminator are franchises that are dead in the movies. Do not do them anymore. They're dead. You can't make good ones anymore. But if you go to FX and go to the TV route and slow burn it that way, that's super exciting. I mean,
I really need the Alien show to be a balance between Aliens, where I need it to be equally horror and action. I think that would keep such viewer engagement, and it'd be so.
I think it
fun.
will be. I think it has to be actually.
has to be,
I mean,
right? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, granted, there's still like horror elements in Aliens, but like the atmospherics that Alien has is just why I prefer it the most.
I'm trying to think of a good horror TV series. The first thing that's coming to mind, of course, is Haunting of Hill House because I just watched that and it's always.
Wasn't
coming to mind.
Lovecraft Country? Isn't that?
Oh,
the
that's a
same?
good example, Nathan.
I could see
That's
it being
more of
that kind of tone.
That's more of an action adventure horror one.
I mean, I was freaked out by the first episode.
There's a lot of episodes where I was freaked out about Lovecraft Country. A lot of episodes freaked me out, and I could see
They
them
also have
doing
like
that.
charming moments with characters. It's a perfect balance.
That's a perfect example, Nathan. I could see them doing that route. In FX,
And with the
I have a lot
TV
of
series, I think
Yeah.
they're going to build out the characters more to like, because part of the selling point is Alien is you don't know a lot about the characters initially. You're kind of thrown into and you kind of learn the dynamics of them as they're on the ship or as they're, talking and going out onto the planet or whatever they're doing. You have to catch up. It'd be interesting if we get with certain characters from the beginning and then build up over like a season for like some big events, you know what I mean, versus first act where we just get all the character information. So I think it's perfect to do it in this form. And it's interesting that we now have Alien going a TV series, FX/Hulu, and then we have the new Predator movie, obviously, which is was
Dan
in the trades
Trachtenberg?
2 weeks ago. Yeah, from the 10 Cloverfield Lane director. So that's being come back. And then also another mature like franchise. We have Wes Ball doing the War from the Planet of the Apes. I was surprised they didn't mention that today actually in the presentation.
Oh wow, you're right. They didn't even talk about
But
that.
I know, and I was like, I was bummed because that's like
to be fair, they didn't talk
pretty
about a
big
lot of the
franchise.
Fox movies. They didn't talk about any of that. This one, they talked about
Yeah,
like, Fox
they
TV
didn't talk
series.
about Avatar. They didn't talk about
Kingsman.
Kingsman, which still shocks me. I don't think that movie's coming out in February.
Premiere access.
Yeah, so it's cool to see that like these things are just not being shelved because that's kind of part of me expected Disney as a corporation just come and be like, all right, well, now that we own it and they were dying at the box office, let's shut it down. But it just shows that they're fans of this franchise, and I'm just glad that we're getting something.
Which is really cool. And also for comic book readers who didn't know, this week is also the same week they announced they're doing an Alien comic book series from Marvel. Marvel is doing an Alien
nice.
comic book series. And this is months or weeks after they announced a Predator TV series or a Predator comic book series. I don't know when they announced that. I forget now. But it was this year.
I have said I had hopes that eventually I would love to see a revitalized Alien versus Predator if they ever get to that point.
If they do it right, yeah, slow build it.
Yeah.
And TV series is the way to go. Again, the last couple of Alien movies, or I guess, yeah, Alien Covenant, Alien, or Prometheus, the weakest point for me were the characters, aside from Michael Fassbender. The weakest point was the characters. By doing it on a TV show, it's simple enough. You have more time to establish characters. So I have full faith in this TV series. Did they say a release date for this? I don't think they did. No,
I think they didn't mention because these were right at the end. So they announced the Alien show, and then let's mention quickly the Shogun,
Yeah.
which sounds fantastic. And after
yeah.
playing Ghost of Tsushima, I am so hyped, you guys. Like, oh my, I love samurai stuff, but like to have a long form FX series about it, that's amazing. Like,
Give me that.
easily one of the most underrated announcements of today was probably this for me, and I can't remember who they said the showrunner was, but
The
it's
showrunner is being written by Justin Marks, who's also writing the Jungle Book, who wrote the Jungle Book and Top Gun Maverick. So he's doing that with Rachel Kondo, and they're adapting it from the award-winning producer Tim Van Patten. Yeah, super exciting. FX, don't miss. Super fun. And yeah, when was the last time? When was the last like Shogun era TV show? So it's very new to get this.
they're
era.
really. I mean, I'm sure there's some, distinctly Japanese shows that are probably
I didn't get a
recent that
chance.
have done it, but
True.
I didn't get a chance to like dive into it, but I know like the logo always has like a katana. Did anybody ever see Into the Badlands?
Oh, I watched the pilot. I never continued with that series. But I heard good things. It's on like Netflix, right, or something. It's on some streaming service.
Yeah, I need to check it out.
Me too. But yeah, for all the viewers, we're not gonna go through all the FX reveals or all the Disney reveals, but like just check out a lot of the Disney reveals on their Disney
there was
Twitter
a
page.
bunch of random
whole
shows
thread.
in the beginning that we're probably not going to mention, mostly because we didn't see footage of them and we didn't even get really a premise about those beginning ABC shows.
And Hulu collaboration. There's gonna be a lot more of that, it seems.
Yeah, but if we talk like the primary like Disney stuff.
Okay, yeah, let's move into that.
Wait, before we do that, we'll just say the Fox Searchlight is going to start collaborating with Hulu to produce stuff like Run and like just original films for Hulu. I think that's cool. I hope it does. I hope some of them still get theatrical releases because I love seeing the Fox Searchlight in theaters. But we'll talk about that at a later date. I just wanted to mention that before we go into the Disney stuff because I think it's awesome.
And also for our viewers, we're not going to discuss anything Star Wars related because we have another podcast.
We'll be doing that tomorrow.
Yes,
tomorrow a little earlier, probably like around 8:00 like usual.
So let's get into this Disney stuff. Okay, so yeah, this I'm not right now. Okay. A lot of stuff. You were saying?
Oh, I was like out of my house doing work related things, so I was like just hearing like secondhand from chat freak out, just like, oh, Buzz Lightyear, what? Like stuff like that.
Yeah, let's jump into that since you mentioned Buzz Lightyear. I can't find the exact tweet right now about the Buzz Lightyear thing, but they're creating a Buzz Lightyear prequel film that I think will be straight to Disney Plus. With Chris Evans. Man, Chris Evans
replaced the selling point. So here's the selling point. I'll break it down.
So it's live action, is it?
Guy. No,
animated.
No. Animated.
Okay.
Animated Pixar feature, or I think it's a series. Is it a series, Evan? I can't remember.
I think it's a movie.
It's a feature film, animated sci-fi Pixar movie. It's going to be based off the guy that the action figure Buzz Lightyear became. So it's going to be the actual guy that like was the hero that became Buzz Lightyear. So it's not the toy Buzz Lightyear. It's like the guy.
It's not going to be like literally like Buzz Lightyear of Star Command. It's going to be. Is it supposed to be like a? I didn't get to see anything. Is it supposed to be like a sci-fi, like a sci-fi future, but like still like an astronaut in some sort of space force?
Yes, the picture is an astronaut.
I just tweeted the video under DMs.
Okay.
It's like Pixar's Ad Astra, but a lot less sad.
A lot less Brad Pitt crying softly.
Yeah, it says June 17th, 2022. Yeah, and I forgot this is Pixar, not Disney Animation. But yeah, so Buzz Lightyear is just an incredible IP, super genius. I didn't even think about this idea. I love the people behind Pixar because this is such a genius idea. I'm usually not a fan of origin stories, but doing a Buzz Lightyear with Chris Evans, prequel, science fiction. Pixar doesn't usually delve into science fiction.
Oh, yeah, looking at the character model, that dude is literally Buzz Lightyear.
Isn't that cool?
That's crazy. That's so cool.
That's going to be actual Buzz. Wow,
That's a real, but what the hell?
super cool, right?
And I love it because
Woody origin story.
it doesn't tie them into Toy Story because they're like, it's not what you think it is, and I'm like, I love that because it frees up so much.
Until they announce the Woody Western, but no.
You know what?
I would watch that. I would watch it too.
I would watch that too.
Like, yo, like, come on now. I just thought about this though. Like, who's the villain in Buzz? What's his name again? Zordon. Zurg. Yeah, Zordon. I think
the evil Emperor Zurg.
Zurg can be in this movie. What if like you have Zurg voiced by like Chiwetel Ejiofor or some bullshit? Like, I don't know. That'd be fucking amazing.
Like seeing the real like, Zurg in space.
Yeah.
Like,
oh my god. I just thought about that. Mind blown. Like, I was like, who's gonna be the villain in this movie? Oh, yeah, Zurg. Man, that just seems so cool.
You guys are so on topic, but right now my brain's just like, can you imagine Hail Caesar's Alden Ehrenreich as Woody?
Yeah. Hell yeah.
That'd be funny.
Okay, so while we're on the 2022 Pixar slate,
Okay.
what was the other one that they announced for the 2022? I think it was from the Bow director, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Turning
from the
Red
Bow
from the director of Academy-winning short Bow, Domi Shi, or I butchered that name, probably. But yeah, so it's May. She has the awkwardness of being a teenager with an added twist. When she gets too excited, she turns into a giant red panda. Coming March 11th, 2022. So,
and they showed it on screen, and it looked pretty cool. Like
it did.
The animation model. I'm excited because I
I'm
like
ready
that
to
short.
cry.
Yeah, me too. Pixar, like again, a lot of original content. People always complain about Disney for not doing original stuff because of last year, but they're gonna have tons of original content this year. I mean, next year in 2022 as well.
And this will be like a coming of age thing too, I think, because we got. I mean, and I really enjoyed Onward's kind of story and that kind of coming of age in a different way, and then
Onwards,
Inside Out, which is fantastic. You cannot disagree with me on Inside Out. Also dives into the coming of age stuff a little bit.
Top 5 Pixar, Inside Out.
Yeah, absolutely. So I love these kind of the stories of like the teenagers going up because I think it's like the perfect meeting ground between like mature and like kid stories for Pixar. So I think awesome to do that. And then we got the 2021 movies, which they're going to be, of course, Raya, which is Disney animation, but the two Pixar will be Luca.
I was about to say, the next feature film is Luca, which is a celebration of the friendship between a boy named Luca and his best friend Alberto during the unforgettable summer, presumably in Italy. Coming June 2020.
Call Me by Your Name. No.
I'm not. I honestly hope they do that. Like to an extent. Like I would the representation for that.
Please.
It would be like really powerful if like a Pixar movie were, and it would be a perfect place to do it because everyone.
Did you guys see the Pixar short on Disney Plus called Out?
Yes.
I don't think so.
It's so good. It's like of that same caliber of just like this guy like trying to like address to his parents that he has a boyfriend. And it's like a very cute like little short. I would love to expand that as a feature film of like not specifically that, but like representation, please.
Nathan, you got to watch. They mentioned this during the Pixar panel. Is they have these little 10 to 15 minute shorts up on Disney Plus. That one with the Out creator is already up, and you can go watch it. And it talks about his process and just like breaking down his story. It was cool.
You need it.
But for Pixar as well, they also have a lot of TV series that Pixar is going to be doing based off.
Wait, what was the other one coming out in 2021? Because they said
Pixar?
they hadn't. Yeah, there's one coming late 2021 that they didn't announce previously.
I don't know.
Or am I thinking of Encanto, which is Disney animation?
Let me see here. Pixar, I think it goes to Marvel. I think Encanto is Disney animation. So, I think the only new Pixar for 2021 is Luca? That can be it, right? Is Luca the only Pixar
I swear
movie?
there's another one.
Pixar's next feature film is Luca.
I swear. What is it?
Soul.
What was it called?
Soul this year. I think it's just one. Soul's in 2020 with Christmas, and then Luca, according to this announcement, is their next feature film in June, and then the next one is March 2022 with Turning Red.
Okay, you're probably right.
Wait, did they announce any of these? Tron Uprising and Kingdom Hearts on Disney.
I would have been screaming at the top of my lungs. They did not announce the.
Okay. They did.
Tron,
Did they mention Tron at all?
not at all. Not at all.
No.
Yeah. Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Whenever we get to it, I do have like the whole like Marvel Twitter announcements full.
Awesome.
So I'll read
Thank you.
The official. Page. But yeah.
So I think Pixar's only 2021 film is Luca, but they also have a lot of TV series. They have a Lightning McQueen road trip series featuring new characters, old friends, imaginative stuff, coming fall 2022. And they have an Up spinoff with Doug.
Ooh, okay.
Seems kind of cool.
By far the most exciting one though is the one called Win or Lose. It is the first long form Pixar animated series. They're going to be 20-minute episodes. The show follows a middle school softball team in the week leading up to their championship game, and each episode is told from the perspective of different characters. So you get 20-minute episodes and different points of view. And that one's not coming until 2023 because it's like a big, that's a lot. But yeah, I think that's it for Pixar. Besides,
so we can get into
Yeah, I was just I'm just trying to remember like the random stuff I heard. I think just like the one other thing that like really caught my eye is that there's a Disney Plus series called Tiana about Tiana.
Yeah, I was just about to get into this. Let's get into Disney animation because they have a lot of cool announcements here. And that's one of them.
And I loved hearing that because from what I could tell, it's going to be back to the 2D animation.
Yes, 2D animation for Tiana coming in fall 2022. I think spring or fall 2022. And I can't tell if it's somebody in the chat earlier said it's going to be 2D animation just for Tiana. I don't know if that's the same for like the Zootopia thing, but
which I mean, I'm not like I wasn't expecting 2D to ever really return anytime soon anyway. So just getting this, I was very happy because I lost art form, honestly.
It really is. Especially for Disney, I mean, like a lot of animes, of course, 2D. But yeah, for Disney to go back to 2D, that's really cool, really awesome.
The most recent thing they did in 2D was like they had certain cartoon character portions in Mary Poppins Returns that they hand animated, but otherwise they haven't done like a full like feature or anything since Princess and the Frog.
And I gotta admit, guys, I'm sorry, I still have not seen Princess and the Frog. That's my missing gem in I remember growing up, I was like, it just seemed very uninteresting to me because I read so many stories of Princess and the Frog. I'm like, I don't need to see a movie about that.
This one's probably so different. I recommend it. It's really fun.
I would definitely watch it now because they're doing a TV series about it. But yeah, and they also announced a TV series on Baymax, a continuation from the film. It's not going to be. It sounded interesting at first, then it kind of sounded less interesting because. I mean, it seems very heartwarming. It's going to be Baymax going around San Francisco, and he's going to be helping people in need. Like there was an image or footage of him helping out the elderly, or him helping out.
So like his primary function he was built for.
Exactly, Nathan. I think that's what he said exactly. He was like, they're going to be showing his primary function, which is always helping people in need. So he's going to be doing that throughout the season.
Any feature of a hero and his friends, or
I believe so. I think they didn't confirm it, but all they said it was a continuation of the movie. So since they're still alive, I think they'll pop up in this series. And they also have a Zootopia,
Moana and Zootopia series.
Yeah, Moana and Zootopia. Moana has me the most excited because Moana is my jam. I love Zootopia more actually. As a film.
Wait, I'm sorry, because I was reading. What's the Moana thing? I missed it earlier.
I don't know what the premise is behind it. It's just like it's continuation of the Moana universe with her.
And
it's gonna be her.
They said like musical series or something.
Musical comedy. Yeah, I think they're all musical comedies.
Okay.
So they're all gonna have music within them. So yeah, Moana. I think
there's two big ones that we forgot to mention for Disney animation, which is the where is Encanto, which is the big feature for Disney animation coming fall 2021, which is it takes place in Colombia, in a magical home directed by Byron Howard and Jarrett Bush, co-directed and co-written by Charlie Smith, music by Lin-Manuel Miranda, which is pretty cool. And apparently they've been working on it for 3 or 4 years now. I saw Lin-Manuel Miranda tweet after. And then the collaboration between Disney Animation and the Pan African Entertainment. I'm gonna butcher this name. It's called. It's all new science fiction series coming in 2022 called Iwayu. I'm butchering that announcement, but it's looks super cool.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a series.
The Pan African Entertainment Company is called Kujali, but the series is called Iwaju. Yeah, coming in 2022. Pan African science fiction universe, and just looks incredible. And this one will be a series.
Yeah.
For 2022. So a lot of the series, Moana, Baymax, Iwaju, Tiana. So like a lot of these series based off of their hit films, it just looks very, very cool. And I can't wait for, of course, Encanto, because Lin-Manuel Miranda, in terms of music, can do no wrong.
Absolutely,
I love it.
So let's break down the Disney just quickly. So for Disney Animation, next year we have Raya and Encanto. And then in 2022, did they announce the 2020?
Did they announce the movie? I don't think they did.
Or okay, it must have just been. So then in between that and 2022, we have a bunch of like series coming out.
Yeah, 2022 is going to be dominated by the TV series. It seems like that we just mentioned Baymax, Tiana, Zootopia. Moana is 2023, but Iwaju is 2022.
Yeah.
But yeah, also speaking of Raya and the Last Dragon, I'm super excited about that. That's going to be their next test for Disney Premier Access as well.
But
I think it's going away.
Right?
Simultaneous,
don't think.
Yes.
I think Premier Access will go away.
You think so, Carson?
I think once once Warner Brothers does a full year of it.
Yeah, because that's also a thing where like you just need the subscription membership. You don't have to pay extra.
So people are going to be attuned to that. Not to mention Disney is already doing that with Soul. And
for free on the
plethora of properties. But Peter Pan and Wendy, Pinocchio, those all got shifted to be exclusively on Disney Plus. So I just don't see parents wanting to pay another $20. Buy something.
I'm very curious.
Didn't hype up Mulan whatsoever at this event. They would have been talking the praises to the shareholders of all people. If Mulan, they would have been 200 million purchases. They would have been all over it, you guys. That makes me think that the only reason they're doing this is to safeguard it, so there's a price in front of it, so theaters are not as mad because it's day and date. It basically says it's kind of day and date. It's a compromise.
That's a very good point you make there, to do a compromise with the theaters by saying we're putting a price tag on us to incentivize people to still go to the theaters if it's safe to do so. But yeah, you mentioned that, Carson, and they mentioned how they're like Mulan was a good testing point, but they're going to be doing Premier Access for Raya to see another. I think the Disney person said like Raya is going to be their test for Premier Access during the heavy COVID period, early 2021. So this is going to be their next big test. And again, since they didn't praise Mulan, I'm thinking if this doesn't work out with Soul or with Raya, then it's going to go away. I don't think. But also it begs the question, like, how successful are we going to judge Soul compared to how successful Raya is going to be, right? Because how is Soul going to get his money back? This is a $100 million Pixar movie compared to Raya, which is also a $100 Pixar movie. Like, how do you make money back with increased subscriptions?
They don't. Yeah, because it's a sunk cost, basically.
Yeah, they literally because they went into making that whole feature expecting it to premiere in theaters. They didn't anticipate any of this stuff to happen.
True. And I also applaud Disney for mostly all of this is theatrical releases in terms of their big movies, not the TV series, but the movies. They're all going to be.
Even though there's a lot of series.
Theatrical. There's a ton of series going to Disney Plus, which they really want to focus on. But movies, Marvel, a lot of that is theatrical. And the Pixar and Disney, everything we just mentioned with Encanto and Buzz Lightyear, that's going to be all theatrical. They're really focusing on that, which is giving people like AMC a big sigh of relief after the Warner Brothers.
For sure.
Keeping me in a job, but
no, it makes you think too of like, it's like if Warner's would have just said we're doing it on case by case, if they would have came out and just been like, all right, Tom and Jerry, our first one out of the gate in March, the new year, if we would have been like day and date, we're gonna try
Bingo.
it, and if they would have just done that instead of saying
Bingo.
our entire okay, that's a whole other conversation, but
Yeah.
they lost so much faith. Not it doesn't even have to be with like people like me who are gonna go to the movie, but like the people that they employ, everyone, and that's the problem
Nolan,
when it comes down to
the
it.
filmmakers, the talent, they're pissed. But yeah, so Disney is keeping people like that. Somehow Disney
In
is
their
trying
court,
to do that.
and they always have. They've always done that.
Yeah.
Even today, and they're like, Disney veteran, Zac Efron. I can't remember what he was in, but they're like, oh, it's the Disney family, so they are really good at like courting that talent and keeping
Disney
it.
has turned into the filmmaker friendly studio, which is pretty remarkable after like people always complain about Disney being a conglomerate only focused on business and remakes. They seem to be the most focused on filmmaker friendly ideas and keeping theaters alive. So very funny. But yeah, that seems to be it in terms of Disney animation. We already talked about Pixar.
Is it that time?
Trying to see here. Oh, wait, real quick.
Gotta rapid fire the Percy Jackson, right?
I want to rapid fire the live action stuff, the Disney Studio stuff.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that includes Percy Jackson, of course. We already knew that's coming out. I'm assuming Percy Jackson is a 2022, maybe 2023 series. I'm hoping 2022.
I'm gonna go fall 2022 if they.
That's a good idea in terms.
I think
in
Rick
terms
could
of
win pretty fast.
Yeah, they're writing right now. Casting, they could do casting all throughout next year. Start shooting at the end of next year for a release date.
Yeah,
the end of 2022. That sounds like it makes sense. But yeah, some of their live action stuff. They're doing a Chip and Dale hybrid live action, Rescue Rangers, which is super exciting to me because I grew up on the Rescue Rangers movie. Seems super cool.
So it's like that Roger Rabbit style, the hybrid.
I assume so, or just like normal hybrid live action.
Yeah, we didn't see the footage. They showed something, but we didn't.
But they have Andy Samberg and John Mulaney. Like, come on, that's incredible. Yeah, and then kind of like what was reported on a couple months ago, Pinocchio, Peter Pan and Wendy, and Cruella are going straight to Disney Plus.
Did they say Cruella's going to Disney Plus? Because I can't. I on the other two, I know they exclusively said, but is it say on the tweet if Cruella's going to Disney Plus?
For some reason now I can't find the Cruella tweet. I just see Pinocchio and
Peter Pan and Wendy. But I was watching the presentation. And I was wondering.
But everything, Pete said Peter Pan and Wendy will be flying to Disney Plus. Pinocchio will be going to Disney Plus. Enchanted 2. We didn't talk about that. Amy Adams coming back for Enchanted 2.
Which is crazy.
Super crazy. Yeah, this has the most likes. This has a lot of people are super excited. I'm a huge Amy Adams fan. She was fantastic in Hillbilly Elegy. I'm kidding. I didn't see it. Sister Act 3. I'm a huge Sister Act fan. So yeah, all of those are going straight to Disney Plus, including the Chip and Dale. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, you're talking about live action. I was going to quickly mention the Night of the Museum animated film.
What?
I think it's a film. Yeah, which is awesome.
And
then they're bringing Diary of a Wimpy Kid. They're making a Diary of a Wimpy Kid movie animated. Thank goodness.
I felt like that should have been. I feel like that should have been animated from like back when I was in fifth grade.
From the get-go. Yeah,
I was in fifth grade. We would talk about, will they ever make a movie? I was like, probably.
Yeah,
right? Cartoon would be fun, but like live action. Excuse me.
So I'm excited for that. I can't remember what the other
Ice Age animated TV show seems pretty cool.
Oh yeah,
that's okay. Jungle Cruise, theaters 2021. That's confirmed theaters. Same thing for Lion King. That's also going to be at theaters. The Lion King prequel is confirmed to be directed by Barry Jenkins.
Wait. I know we were talking about like a whole like a Lion King. Is there a sequel and a prequel happening, or is it just
no? So it seems like this next movie
prequel
is
the whole like Mufasa origin stuff we were talking about, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So Hans Zimmer, Pharrell Williams, and Nicholas Patel will provide the music for this series or for this movie. That seems kind of cool.
Cheaper by the Dozen remake.
Okay.
Oh, Little Mermaid is also a theatrical release, and they confirmed the cast for that more. Halle Berry, Daveed Diggs,
Hocus Pocus 2. They're making a Hocus Pocus 2.
That's awesome. Is that Disney Plus, right? Hocus Pocus 2?
Yes, coming.
Is there any info? Was there any info on that? Or,
Adam Shankman is directing. I have no idea who that is, but
but there's no like story stuff or character things.
no, just says spooky sequel.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, that's awesome though.
I gotta find this Cruella tweet. This is
I can't find. It's not in their thread, is it? It's not. That's so weird.
No,
isn't
it's
it?
not.
I don't know why that is. Yeah, but I think that's it for So they have a mix of things going to. If it's live action, it's mostly going to go to theatrical. But some of the smaller stuff like Pinocchio, Peter Pan and Wendy, and Enchanted 2, those are all going to go to straight to Disney Plus. So they are committing themselves to theaters in terms of movies that they think is going to make a lot of money, like a Lion King movie or like a Little Mermaid, the Disney Renaissance movies. But the little smaller ones are going to Disney Plus, so they get a good mix of that. So very exciting, very exciting.
Awesome.
And tell us when you find the Cruella thing.
I'm just seeing Cruella will be released next year, which we knew because it's in that. I think it's in March for some reason, honestly, or it's in March or May. I can't remember when it was, but we're talking about it. We're like, that would be the first one, and I thought they would probably move straight to Disney Plus, but.
Oh, right now it says it looks like Cruella sticking to theatrical. I can't find out anymore now. It's a mix.
Yeah, it's annoying me actually. Like, I need to go find the.
Nope. Somebody says Cruella's going straight to Disney Plus. It's mixed. I have no idea. I'm pretty sure it's going straight to Disney Plus. I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure it's following Pinocchio and Peter Pan and doing the same thing.
Yeah. Okay. So now. Yeah. A mix between theatrical and Disney Plus. But I think we're ready for Marvel. Are we? Unless you have something else, Carson.
I think we're ready for Marvel.
Yeah, let's do it. Right. Kevin Feige, as always, as Comic-Con and every other thing, Marvel ends their show.
I feel like this. I was away, and this man announced Phase 4, 5, and 6. Like, So I got like the tweet release order of like things that were announced. So we're gonna run through it. First off, we got a brand new poster and trailer for WandaVision, which means I'm sorry to put Carson on the spot, but the time has come to break down real quick different things. Gotta get that multiverse fix. But yeah, so we're gonna cue this up right here, and. Just look at this gorgeous series.
I'll keep closed captioning. I think this was a better representation. Like the teaser was cool, but this really like sold me on the idea. Yeah, like you see her struggling a lot more, like in going in and out.
The play of the aspect ratio.
Of course,
you guys look at that aspect ratio.
I do. Man, look at, also, I love this like magic merge of the bed. Like it's so cool. But then when things start getting like, I think this is the 70s era. Like it's just so good.
Like the quality just looks really like theatrical going straight to series.
I feel like the cinematography like matches the era they're going for, like with each one. Monica Rambeau, undercover agent, I think.
But then she says she forgets where she is too, so she has a mind thing going on there.
Yeah, I think anybody who wanders into the town is like infected, and also I think like. I feel like, right here, like they're trying to like reach out to Wanda. I think the world might not even know that like Wanda's the one doing this. I think they might think she's in trouble or something because like she was a well-established Avenger taking on Thanos and stuff, and now like what's going on here?
I think everybody besides Harkness knows like or doesn't know what's going on. Besides her, I think she knows what's going on. Agnes,
I think she's trapped. I think that's the thing.
Like, and then you get this, which is. Crazy.
Soul Stone. Whoa.
Yeah.
Are we reviving Vision?
Yeah, Mind Stone.
Or in her mind is she?
Like, I have no idea what's going on here.
Well, that is what her power like birthed from. I think.
True.
Right.
So yeah.
And I love Wanda's line earlier in this, or I mean Vision's line of like, "This is our home. We'll defend it." It's like she's imagining like, why did she say that? I can't remember. Somewhere in the trailer.
It's interesting. Like she says that, but then also we see her. She's gonna be in Doctor Strange too, so she's leaving at home pretty soon.
Yeah, like
she's not sticking around in the suburb.
But I wanted to say this cast member, she's gonna be in, I think, Captain Marvel too.
Yes.
I'd hope so.
Right?
'Cause that's an older
Yeah,
Monica
no,
Rambeau
yeah,
from the first
yeah.
film.
Kevin announced it that she's gonna be in
Awesome.
Captain Marvel too,
Which I think
was cool.
is at least kind of semi-establishes Captain Marvel 2 to have a present day storyline taking place, at least in some points. Because I know we were like,
Oh
trying
yeah,
to
well,
figure out
and because
when-
Miss Marvel is gonna be in it, so yeah,
Oh yeah, okay, so that's
yeah,
great.
that makes it. So yeah, this trailer really, I mean, this is already like my most anticipated series, I think. We'll
Yeah,
talk
I was
more-
also apprehensive to like even like check out this trailer because it's just like I don't like watching show trailers. I'd like to just like dive
Right.
in. But it's like it's so short enough that you don't really get like any like proper plot really. It's
Really, no,
but
it's all
you get
it's all
but you get the
sizzle.
feeling of it, and that's
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah, it seems the most character-centric of these Disney shows in terms of the relationship between Vision
Mhm.
and Scarlet here.
Yeah,
Man,
I'm
I
just
can't wait to
to
see
see
these
it.
Halloween stuff. It's so funny. Like,
it's so good.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I think a lot of the black and white stuff, like that tilted angle, I think you're gonna get like a lot of like scary elements too. Like just,
Yeah.
like, the warped
Oh, really?
line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they said like the first couple episodes is going to be that weird sitcom laugh track as you heard in the beginning of the trailer. You can get, you
They
can
literally
kind of
filmed it.
tease
They
that.
actually filmed in front of a live studio audience for at least
Yeah.
the
which
first
is
episode.
which is
It-
awesome.
Wild.
And then we'll get a
That-
tease about
stuff.
the whole action once it gets like the next. I think like the first 4 are sitcom, and then the last 4 are action, like a regular Marvel movie.
Which is cool. I'm
Mhm.
so intrigued to see like how things are going to break down. I cannot wait to see more from WandaVision. Scrolling through the Twitter, just along the line, I'm on the official Marvel Studios Twitter. So they also retweeted from Disney themselves. Just reconfirmation news: Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness debuts March 25th, 2022, starring
Yep.
Benedict Cumberbatch, Elizabeth Olsen, Benedict Wong, Rachel McAdams.
Yes. Yes.
She's back.
she's
Benedict,
my girl.
yeah, Benedict Wong, Rachel McAdams, Chota Ejiofor, and I'm gonna butcher this. I think it's Xochitl Gomez as American Chavez. Directed by Sam Raimi. The film
Okay, but
ties.
who is I was like dying to ask you, Nathan, because I don't know who that last character is. Everyone's like, "Oh my god, American!" Like, is that a prominent character in the comics?
Oh, Carson. I would like to know as well. I honestly I haven't really properly delved into American Chavez, but I've heard the name.
I'm not too familiar with her, but I think she has like the basic superpowers of like strength. I think flight as well. Yeah, I'm not too familiar with her powers. I think she is very close to like the Miss Marvel kind of thing going on. I don't know how she ties into Doctor Strange of it all. But she does have her own series. She's Latin American. I think, is this the one that's controversial casting? I'm not sure. There's a lot of
I don't remember.
No.
there's a lot of controversial casting going on with Miss Marvel. But no, this girl's an American
for
Chavez.
Miss
I
Mar-
think this is
for
different.
Miss Marvel.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I got it wrong.
There's a lot of stuff which we'll get to the Miss Marvel, but yeah, just
Okay, did Kevin
reaffirm-
say in the panel? Because I'm pretty sure, like, because this was right after they talked about WandaVision, then they quickly mentioned Doctor Strange, right? I'm pretty sure he said they're filming Doctor Strange already.
They are, yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't know that?
Well, because if Doctor Strange is in Spider-Man, I was just like, wait. I mean,
Yeah, that's why
but,
like they confirmed that Benedict was going to be in Spider-Man because they're both filming at the same time, like in Atlanta and in London or whatever.
Okay, for some reason I thought that Doctor Strange had more to go to start filming, but
Yeah, Mr.
Marvel just does not stop.
No,
Yeah.
they do not. They're a machine. And just to reaffirm, directed by Sam Raimi, the film ties to WandaVision and the next Spider-Man film.
Oh my gosh, it's crazy.
Then we also got a brand new poster and our first real look at the Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, the poster
Yes,
looks
sir.
pretty like a basic poster, but the trailer here.
I gotta say, guys, this was like my least anticipated thing. I was like, this is boring. Like, why do they do this show?
Wow.
No,
How
I
dare
just didn't care about this show, but this trailer absolutely convinced me otherwise. I was shocked.
I'm the exact
what I expected from the show, but like,
yeah, I'm the
all right.
exact opposite. This was my most anticipated show before we got any news whatsoever. Like when they announced everything,
Same.
it was between Loki,
Well, I
this,
said WandaVision at
and
the top, but yeah.
WandaVision. Yeah, between Loki, this, and WandaVision, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm easily most excited for Falcon and Winter Soldier because it's spy, espionage. I love Winter Soldier. And we're going to see more of that. WandaVision had me a little skeptical until I saw more. But this trailer is what I expected, but it's also freaking incredible. So, yeah, let's take a look.
I didn't expect it to be as vast and like world building as it was. I thought it'd
Yeah,
be...
the scope here is pretty dang big.
This is beautiful. I cannot
Ooh,
wait.
look at that shot. Oh my god.
I don't think we're gonna get to like toward the end of the however long the show runs for the season, but like I think by the end there, that's when we're gonna officially see
every trailer has a
in
caravan of
Captain
SUVs. I'm not kidding.
Oh, for
I know, right? that's
They always gotta get that dealership.
Pause.
Miss Kellyman.
That's our girl.
Oh my god.
Look at that.
So beautiful.
Yay!
Love it.
Love it. But yeah, to finish my thought, I think like toward the end of the season, that's when we'll get to see Sam in an actual like Captain America type Falcon.
I agree. For sure. Definitely, right? It's all about him like not earning it.
But his
like,
new Falcon suit, Falcon suit is gorgeous.
Gorgeous. I love it too.
Look who's back.
Zemo.
Zemo's back.
This imposter.
Yeah, that's the Captain America that the government wants to sponsor instead of Falcon.
Aaron Kellyman, can we just say on like Train Heist number 2 of her career? It's kind of fun.
I don't even know who these villains are.
I know. Maybe
I'm not familiar.
I feel like she's like a third party. I feel like she like has not answered anyone. That's
what it seems like too. You get a whole Captain America jumping out of a train or airplane thing. Love it.
Yeah, no plan. But, dude,
this is crazy.
Like, I wasn't ready for this to dive into like a 30-second action set piece. Like, look.
I thought it was gonna cut after 2 seconds. It just keeps going. I'm like, oh my god.
I keep thinking it's gonna cut, and it doesn't, and it just goes lower.
That looks beautiful. It looks so cool. Look at that.
Oh, man.
He retracts the wings and
yeah.
So cool.
And this is gorgeous. The title card is, and they're doing the same like Captain America music cue from like the first Avenger. It's beautiful.
Yeah, so it looks like he's wearing
some good quips.
Oh yeah, their relationship never changed. It's also so weird seeing Bucky with short hair again.
Yeah,
I know.
I like it. So yeah, let's talk about that release date though. March 2021, March 19th.
Right after
WandaVision, because WandaVision
and Loki is right after that. It is back to back.
Waste no time,
you guys.
Yeah,
we thought it would have gotten delayed to like end of the year at least for like Loki. Like
it seems like each series is going to have like a probably 2 or 3 week break, and then in the next series drops, which is perfect for Disney Plus. You never want to leave that subscription now.
Yeah, for real. That's what we were worried. It was like, will they have enough substantial content? And then we had investors.
Yeah, up until now, they haven't had. It's only been 1 year, but they haven't had a lot of content besides Mando.
Yeah,
but this is going to change everything.
This is. I think that shocked me the most about this is there's like a lot of like on location stuff. I didn't really expect like.
I love
it really to go as far, but it really did.
Oh, I just realized that was Bucky's hand in front of Zemo. Like
Oh yeah.
Ooh, I wonder if they're still gonna play into like the brainwash stuff, but. What I love is like Winter Soldier and Civil War, you still get like that spy espionage feel with the trailer,
right? Mm-hmm. That's what had me so excited. You get that spy espionage, that grounded on the ground kind of thing with Aaron Kellerman's group going on there. It seems so cool.
Yeah, and that seems like the tone for both Marvel trailers so far is like it has the new kind of genre experiment, and then it also has what you're used to in Marvel. And I'm glad that kind of is a balance of both. Even if the show is WandaVision, looks like it's going to have some big action eventually.
And also, I think it also just like feels like such a breath of fresh air after spending like 10 straight years building to the one Infinity Saga ending event. It's just we're finally going to get that branch out of like their own stories, not necessarily diving to like the bigger thing.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you're right. It's a lot more screen time. Relatively, you know what I mean? Compared to probably if you added up all the time that Bucky was on screen or
and I've also said I think I said in my video I posted before we started I like love the fact that we are going to get this series. I don't know how long it's going to run for if they want to do multiple like season stuff, but I really do want to see the day where I could see like a Captain America film headlined by Anthony Mackie. I love that for him. I would love to experience that in the theater.
Phase 5, baby. I hope so.
Yes. I wonder if
Yeah,
it's just
and-
like the detour phase, but yeah.
Real cool.
I mean, it kind
Maybe
of
not.
is, and it makes sense because they want to dip into TV and tell these expanded stories.
Yeah.
And it honestly, like, seeing stuff like this, it kind of made me wish like the Black Widow stuff was a TV show. Not gonna lie, like I kind of wish that
True.
that we had that as a 6-episode series, or because now I'm sitting here and I'm like, oh, this kind of feels more of an event to me than Black Widow, which I'm like, because Black Widow feels like that thing is like 5 years too late.
I think
and I'm like,
that I feel like that's probably just because we've seen that trailer for the same trailer for a full year versus this is our first look ever at this.
Yeah.
show.
it totally
Yeah.
is, but also like
I
don't
kind of
know.
disagree with that because Black Widow is such an important character. Since they dropped the ball on her so early on in the Marvel phases,
Yeah.
I feel like she deserves a theatrical release, not something.
I
relegated
think
to
so too.
Yeah.
But yeah, speaking about Black Widow, they talked about that after this trailer, which is a quick
Confirmed
tweet.
theatrical. Yeah.
Confirmed theatrical. That's basically all it is. Florence Pugh, David Harbour. Also,
Yeah. I'm gonna get to it
all these Disney Plus things are. We all know they're going to be connected to the movies. How is Falcon and Winter Soldier going to connect? They haven't really teased what film this show is connecting with.
If I were to guess like of what existing things to come, I think probably maybe possibly some Hawkeye stuff. I'm not entirely sure how, but I feel like that's a good vibe to go off of,
That's
especially
a
with
great call.
Yelena gonna be in Hawkeye that we know, and
Mm-hmm.
otherwise I don't know what big events we're like really moving toward until we get to phase 5, I guess.
We don't really know anything because I mean, like Sam Jackson's like in space, like doing something, and then like we don't really have like a big group that's like doing something. We don't really understand what.
I mean, we're still in the
those
dark. We
threats are gonna
haven't probably started this phase yet, so we really can't tell.
True. We can't really connect the dots as
Yeah,
much.
but I'm super looking forward to this.
Yeah. So next up after the Black Widow thing was
we have the our first official look at, well, they called it Clip, which is crazy. The Loki series here.
It's the longest one yet. It's the longest.
Yeah, it's the longest one. I was like, excuse me. So
Which
right
of course
away,
we're
right
in
away
Endgame.
it's Endgame. We're in the Endgame now. As soon as I saw that, I was like, oh snap! We're just diving right in. It's insane. I think that's a new shot, actually.
It might be. I think my
Nathan would
computer's
know
frozen.
because I only saw this movie 2 times and Nathan saw it 8 times or 10 times.
8 times.
Jesus.
Hold on.
In
Let me
theaters.
pause for a second because this is going whack.
Buffering a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is, again, in terms of hype, this was a series that was like on the bottom of my totem pole compared to Falcon and WandaVision.
Me too,
Yeah.
because I was like, oh,
This
Loki
blew me
again.
away.
But somehow watching
I
it, I was
agree.
like, why is this the most thought-provoking in my brain? Like,
I wouldn't say, thought-provoking and just like expansive. Like, this is crazy. Like, this seems like Thor Ragnarok, the TV series. Like,
Yeah.
they're doing so
Right.
much.
I wanted to post, but like this shot just like mirrors the first Iron Man when Tony like flies out of the cave. And
Oh, it totally
crashes.
does.
I gotta admit though, the CGI in this trailer doesn't look as good as compared to WandaVision and Falcon. I don't know what is. Maybe it was
It's
just
also
me,
the
but,
last
like,
show of the slate to come out from these three. so I think
probably,
that's
yeah.
probably
I remember
it.
some shots in the
Yeah.
background. I'm like, oh, that looks really bad. But
I
they
forgot.
still are working on stuff.
Yeah, I love the set designs they got going. I forgot Owen Wilson was rumored. So there he is.
So did they like capture him here, or did they pick him up? Like I'm confused. Or is this like?
I assume they captured
I
him in
actually, I actually do have an intriguing theory of where it's going to go, but we got to finish the trailer first.
Okay. Yeah, Owen Wilson there, great.
So this is the time variance. What's it called? Time
Authority.
Authority.
Yeah.
And I don't. I'm seeing this stuff. I'm like, I didn't expect this to be the Loki show.
Right. Like
Yeah. So who's
there's a
that
lot
villain
going
out
on
there?
here.
What's that?
Yeah, what
don't
is
know.
all this? Are we on different realms? Or is he going to be an agent for them? Like, what the hell?
It seems like
Yeah,
they're
and
gonna-
then there's
It's the classic like TV. They use a villain to track down a villain.
Yeah. Oh, I think right here is where I'm gonna need like a pause real quick. Yeah, right there.
and then there's like spiritual stuff going on before that. I'm like, hold on, sorry. I
Yeah.
paused.
Yeah. But okay, actually, can you go back to the hologram?
Yeah, it's completely frozen. Hold on.
Okay. like the first hologram, like they showed the image of like his point of view with like the Avengers, but like before that, right here, now before you guys come at me with your thing, because I know it's gonna be in your favor for a second, I will address this right here. Is a shot of Loki in Ragnarok, which has not happened in the Endgame timeline, but it's happening here. But before you like, oh, he's gonna be in Thor 4. Shut up. Listen. I think what's happening here is they're showing these different points of Loki, or at least they're showing where Loki's
like how it's gonna play out. Yeah,
I think these are like these guys have been referenced as like the time police essentially. What I think they're doing is they're like trying to rewrite the branch timeline going out of whack, because the Ancient One in Endgame also established like you remove one of the stones, everything's going to go out of whack, and effectively Loki stealing the Tesseract in that moment totally warps that timeline to a way we don't know, which is the whole series basically. Yeah. So I'm intrigued to see if they're trying to like correct his course, if he's going to like be defiant with that or anything.
Or maybe they need something out. Maybe they need something out of him even deeper than just correcting his timeline.
Yeah, it seems like he's tracking down some mysterious villain.
I also wonder if this also kind of will fill some sort of like mind gap, because I always assume we're just going to have to relearn to love a Loki that hasn't developed beyond the first Avengers film. But if they're going to like catch him up to speed on like what he's supposed to do, and he like kind of mentally wrestles with that, that could be another intriguing angle to explore.
By the way, it seems like that shot right there is not from. Right, it looks like when he gets the helmet thing in Avengers, right?
No, because like he's like
they show that, but then they show the Avengers scene.
Yeah, they do. I think it's just cut different, because this I remember he's like, your savior is here, and he's coming down on like that big ship over Asgard. For
it's a different angle.
Cause I think it's a bit. Because like I remember his horns weren't as long, so I mean it could be an alternate thing. It's
possibly.
I wonder what these. So these guys are part of the.
They're working together. It seems like he's wearing a detective outfit. They're working together. It seems like a crime show, like right, like when you bring
like who are these like imposters? And there's probably imposters in different time period. Like,
so somebody's benefiting from Loki's disruption of the timeline.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think they gotta fix that.
I'm
intrigued.
This
looks cool. I don't know. That's awesome. I don't know.
Where are we? Where are we?
What is this? Like, I don't even know what's going on in this.
Is this like an Earth result of removing the Infinity Stone? Is this like?
No idea what that is.
I don't know.
Because this looks like Earth, but this definitely.
Yeah, this is.
He mentions Thor right there. He's like, or not right there, but he says like.
Heimdall, he says brother. He's brother and Heimdall, but that also makes me think, because at some point he jumps out of the plane and is caught by the Bifrost. Is he working with an alternate timeline, Thor and Heimdall? What is happening?
He's caught by the Bifrost.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
I thought it was a Tesseract or something. I didn't see the Bifrost.
I didn't connect that dot.
I don't know if he just needs like a quick save, because like Odin probably like still wants Loki at least arrested. I don't know.
Huh.
Oh.
And there's so many like variant font logos that like it grows on me every time I see it.
Could it be him too? Like, could it be like?
It's like two Lokis?
No.
Yeah.
I think there was rumored like a supposed thing that's kind of like this like Council of Loki's thing, where like there's different versions of him. Like that was like the rumor.
That's what I'm saying.
But it's not. Well, I don't know. I think that was. I always assumed that was going to be like a mental, like in his mind type deal. But like it's different forms he takes on. Like there was rumor like Richard E. Grant's role was going to be like an older Loki, or like there's be a female.
Speaking
Loki.
Of which, do we see him in this trailer? I did not see.
I heard he.
I don't think we did.
I heard he came out on the presentation or something like before the trailer, but I didn't see him in it.
He came out as like on the screen as in terms of the cast.
You know what? Unless he's this guy. The villain could be Richard E. Grant. I would love Richard E. Grant as a villain.
Roxxon, right? Did I say Roxxon?
Did it?
Maybe I was reading that wrong.
I'm wondering. My biggest question is what is all of this stuff part of? Like, who are these?
I was looking at that. I was like, huh.
This looks like the time variance, right? Like this is just the time variance core area.
Yeah,
but I feel like these creatures might have some significance. I don't know, but also their faces.
Can't wait to see it.
And their faces shift. That was interesting.
Then there's a statue of them.
Time variance authority. That's who they are. This is where Loki. They're showing him his mistakes.
I wonder, like, what does this collar do?
Wait, is that Is it Rox Can?
It said Rox Can, so yeah, not Roxanne.
Is it an alternate reality version? I don't know.
It could be, yeah.
So this one,
Because that's the
honestly,
same font. It's like,
I have the most questions about the show, which I
Yeah,
think
me
is a good
too.
thing.
We don't know
Yeah.
Jack.
I didn't expect it, but now it for some reason seems the most intriguing because like a time
Yeah.
release
It looks
show,
so
but also-
weird. Is this like
and
a,
it looks like the outside stuff looks so cool too. But it's also supposed to be like of different points in time. So like I'm pretty sure that was like 70s era or something. But
Right.
insane.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And like,
look at that. It looks like
different-
Thor Ragnarok, the TV show. Like it looks so wild and out there.
Yeah, it's so crazy.
Awesome.
And then I
can't
have
believe
no
I
idea
missed
what's
this the first
happening
time.
here.
That's so cool.
Oh my god, I don't know how.
I'm telling you, Nathan, he's definitely in Thor 4.
He's not. He's not. But they're not putting back.
I'm trying to
on
dissect
the
these.
dead
I'm like,
timeline.
oh, it's cool.
But you're right. To add to Nathan's sentiment, they didn't confirm it at all. Usually they kind of like want to tie it in. They didn't say what this movie ties into.
Okay.
Yeah, I have no idea. What's
Why does
happening
Loki
here.
have a pin that says Loki? That's hilarious.
If this man is literally like running
That's
for
amazing.
some form of government,
And
wow.
like all these different people he's with seem like different, like have like different weird costumes. Like this man literally has a fork in his head.
yeah, literally. Also, like the evolution of his crown every time we see him is just I love every time.
So I don't know what's going on in this show, and that's a good thing.
Oh, absolutely. I think it just kind of finishes up with them like turning on him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they all just start attacking him.
I think this is also like the first time I'm noticing Tom Hiddleston looks older.
Yeah.
That last shot, he definitely did.
Yeah,
You can see the
But-
age on him. But
but I never really noticed like throughout the rest of it though, so I think it's
Yeah.
fine. So that I think that about does it for Loki, but I'm super excited to see where that goes. But moving
Yeah.
forward, that does lead us to the what if.
he definitely does.
And
Yeah.
wow, what a trailer.
What a trailer! There's so many intriguing concepts.
I feel like we
I
saw
have
most of this before, haven't we? This is the one where I'm like, I don't
And
see
like in
much
like
new
short
stuff here.
in short splits, but then I saw some new
Oh,
stuff that was like, what's going
okay.
on here? Like Nick Fury discovering Cap, that's a first. That wasn't how that went down. I know this is
We already heard of the
T'Challa.
Yeah,
Black
we
Panther
knew about the
T'Challa,
Star
yeah.
Wars thing.
I had no idea what's going on with Doctor Strange though. Like this is all new stuff.
Yeah, the Doctor Strange one was new to me too.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
also
and
just-
which ends in a wild last shot, like two Doctor
Yeah,
Stranges
which-
fighting, and I'm
well-
like, what?
yeah, I'm intrigued to see what's it's like there's got like existing phase 1 stuff, but then
Is that
that-
Chadwick Boseman, right? That's him voicing him.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Oh
I
my
think
God.
I don't know if they did he speak as an adult?
I think he did.
T'Challa?
I heard him. I heard it. I heard
Okay.
like
This
a-
I
a
love
little
this.
part.
This is so cool.
Yeah, like Peggy becoming that's amazing. And we know from previous stuff that Steve's in like the steampunk Iron Man.
And look at her
He is,
shield.
yeah.
She looks great, dude. Oh my god.
UK Captain America. Love it. Or not Captain America. UK Captain.
Right. But this is insane. Yondu taking T'Challa.
That's so cool.
What a concept. And then like more Stephen Strange
More
stuff. I have
Strange
no
stuff,
idea what's
yeah.
happening with him. But it's so
This is
weird.
funny.
And the animation style is gorgeous.
And that's Steve Rogers in that suit.
Dude, okay, let me go back
Yeah.
to that Doctor Strange shot because it's
Yeah,
in his
yeah.
shadow. Like, what is that?
Insane.
I didn't see that the
I don't-
first time.
I feel like he's like fighting like a dark version of him. So I have no
So
idea
this
what's
is,
happening. but it's
the concept
amazing.
is what if. So what's the what if in that Doctor Strange scenario? Like it's like what if
Yeah,
what
I don't
happened?
know.
I don't get it.
I
Um,
if he joined Dormammu, I don't know. Like,
Anyway, and so what's the voiceover? Like this guy, who is this? And like, what is he voicing over the entire
Oh,
trailer? and
that's-
kinda like-
that's the Watcher.
that's Jeffrey
Um,
Wright,
Watcher.
the Watcher.
Jeffrey Wright as the Watcher. The Watchers are beings that like observe the different events in the Marvel universe, but they are not allowed to act. However, the specific one, I think his name's Uatu, the Watcher. He's one who watches our Marvel universe. He's not supposed to interact, but he does from time to time.
Interesting. So what if
And-
can really explore that? You know, obviously to an extent,
Yeah.
which
I'm
probably could come.
very-
They could probably be like the canon explanation.
We
you know,
saw
it's not-
we saw versions like if physically in the MCU of the Watchers in Guardians of the Galaxy 2 with the Stan Lee cameo when he was stranded.
Oh,
on
that's
the
right.
plane.
And that
Yeah.
the one in the post credits, or no, the
Mhm.
one when
Yeah.
they're going through.
Where they're
Oh, yeah, I
where
think it
they're
was post credits.
it's both. Yeah, they appeared twice.
Oh yeah, the lights skipping or whatever. No, it's you know what I mean. they're
Yeah, in
going
both.
through.
2 scenes they had. Yeah, you're right. But yeah,
Let's keep
it's
it going.
gorgeous design.
Yeah, it's frozen. Hold on.
Wow.
He definitely
Yeah.
looks a lot cooler here, I'll say, than the movies. But yeah, that's great. I have no idea what's going on with Strange. I love seeing all this. I don't know what's going on with Hawkeye,
Hawkeye,
Collector,
Iron Man, Captain
Marvel.
Marvel,
Thor's
This-
trying to steal the
this
hammer
whole-
again.
This is awesome.
Marvel
Yeah,
Zombies.
the Marvel
awesome.
Zombies. Yeah, I have no idea what's leading to that. I don't know why we're back in the point where Thor's trying to steal his hammer back. I don't know.
It's like, what if he couldn't get the hammer? What if he wasn't worthy?
Right, yeah.
Well, that's already how the
This-
movie goes. I think
this is my
that's-
favorite part. What is going on here?
I
Yeah,
don't
it's
know.
crazy.
It's like the anti-Strange.
What
like,
if? What if?
wait, can you pause on like his hand? Because like his hand changed from human. Like, is it? It's not a scroll, is it? I don't think so.
Wait, where
Like when he
did it
grabs
change?
his neck. When he grabs his neck.
Oh, it changed green.
Is it? What is it?
It could be a scroll.
Look at his hand.
That's a big
Look at
hand
his
for a
hand.
scroll, though. That doesn't look. That's got to be like an interdimensional demon or
Yeah.
something.
So cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're right.
It's so interesting. I think could you like maybe like back up 20 seconds because I want to investigate like the individual like Thor and Captain Marvel things.
Yeah, let me get to, I think it's like right here.
Yeah, there's like stuff like a lot of like phase 1, phase 2 things. Like
Yeah.
Mhm.
I love seeing the relationship.
Hawkeye.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the Hawkeye or the Collector.
Yeah,
Tony's-
Captain Marvel, I guess,
and-
is the only really shot.
Yeah, I can't say much
Yeah.
about that. Interesting.
I don't
though.
know. I don't know what the what if is going to be with Tony and like Iron Man 2, and that's Thor from the first film.
But I love the animation style overall. So cool.
Oh, it's so good. Like but also that's Bucky's outfit from Infinity War. So I'm trying to
Yeah.
like place timelines on where they start.
It's
Where
a
was
what
the Thor
if.
thing you were talking about?
The what?
The what?
Where was the Thor thing you're talking about?
Like
Oh,
when
it's
he's
just
like
him
running.
running.
yeah, where he's like running and like jumping over that ledge. That's from the first
Oh,
Thor
that
film where he's
rail.
trying to steal his hammer back.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Wait,
Yeah.
can we see who Captain Marvel's standing in front of in that shot?
I don't think so, dude.
There's someone like to the left, in the foreground.
Play it here.
And I gotta, like, pay attention to
it.
But we jump back far. Right here.
Okay.
No.
Yeah,
you
we
can't
can't
see
No, I
it.
can't make it out. All right.
A chair.
Oh, it's
Ha-
shit.
no.
It honestly looks like a ship, but I don't know.
But yeah, and just so everybody knows, like I think all the voice actors, all the actors are voicing their characters.
Yeah.
They're all coming back.
And
so-
also, by the way, important thing that this comes out summer 2021.
yeah.
So
Kill-
right after the 3 series come out, we're getting 4 series in a row.
Loki
I am
was
eating
May
good.
21, and then this was said summer. So if Loki's in
Yep.
May, I'm assuming this one's going to be July or August
July
2021.
or August, yeah.
Because usually when they say summer, they mean the end of summer. So August.
Yeah. So I think and yeah, and then there was a tweet that wasn't for video, but they had some Shang-Chi
Yeah, they
updates.
confirmed.
Production is just wrapped for Shang-Chi and Legend of the Ten Rings, and we are excited to share the fantastic cast bringing the film to life. It releases July 9th, 2021 in theaters.
In theaters, yep. Thank
So
goodness.
cool. Yeah. I can't make out any comic book characters from these names, but the cast is online July 9th. And then that's when we get into
That's
the
when
next
we got the Miss Marvel sizzle, yeah.
Which was awesome. I'll tell you what my favorite moment of this is when they recorded the Zoom call when they told
Me
her
too.
that she was
Okay,
cast.
that's
Yeah.
probably your favorite.
They
Yes.
And it was
They had a hint
amazing.
of her. They had a hint of her audition, which was cool. But then, like, they like
Yeah.
show like being on the call with Feige and everyone.
Glitching again. Let it load.
This man has a different
There's the
baseball
man
cap
himself.
every day.
For every
For every
day of the year.
situation. Yeah.
Wait,
I want to
wait,
see
now
his
I'm-
like, cap collection.
Okay, I'm sorry for like being such a speculative nerd, but like,
This-
is Feige wearing the spider logo hat? I
Oh
can't tell.
no, Nathan, don't do it. Nathan, don't do it.
Yeah.
It looks like it. It's a Spider-Man hat. He likes Spider-Man. He's a Spider-Man fan.
Yeah, but that's a new logo.
I think it isn't. I think you're right. We can't get a good look at it. Enhance.
But yeah,
Anyways,
that's so cool.
this seems like a cool origin story, and I'm excited that it's
It
really
seems
like our
down to earth.
first like our first like kind of more grounded one, I guess.
For somebody with such a
it's what we want for
cosmic-
Spider-Man. Like,
yeah, it really
Right.
is, right?
Yes, that's exactly that. You put the words in my mouth.
It's for such a cosmic character. This seems like the most grounded story.
It's like
I
if we
like.
dropped in on Spider-Man before Civil War, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
yeah,
Total sense. Yeah.
it's so crazy because it's just like interview stuff, but then they keep splicing in like footage
I
from the
love
show.
this.
And
This is amazing.
Yeah.
Everyone's on the call, and you can hear
she's
Kevin
filming
too.
in portrait. Everyone's professional. She's filming in portrait, walking around.
Yeah, she's just walking.
I need to look up the names of these directors because I know they've done some cool stuff.
Yeah, we talked
but I
about
love
it
that they got-
a couple weeks ago. I forget what they did.
The show
And the
looks
footage
great.
looks pretty great so far.
Yeah.
Like I love the style of it.
We haven't
It's
seen her
also
powers yet. Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't seen a lot except just like her day-to-day life, really.
And I think they
Nothing
just
too-
started filming too. So
Yeah. I'm very
Yeah.
curious what the CGI looks because she's like stretchy. Like that's her one of her main
Right.
powers. You can
Yeah.
like elongate.
Which would
she can
Is it
grow.
gonna look like what's the movie
That's
Sky
also-
High?
Right.
I just watched it the
Which
other day. Great movie, but
I love that.
I think
movie.
that would also be a good like test to like think about what we're gonna expect for like Mr. Fantastic whenever they get to that.
I want to dissect this whiteboard. It's kind of
Yeah,
fun.
me too. What do we got? Come
Come
on,
on.
Avenger
Captain
Marvel.
Con. Yeah, that the sign says Avenger Con, which I think she might be just because I know she's an Avengers super fan,
Mhm.
especially Captain Marvel.
Yeah, because there was that poster right here.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Does it
And
like?
then she's
focus in?
actually gonna be in Captain
She's wearing the
Marvel, too.
outfit. Yeah.
Like how
Nice.
amazing it. Oh yeah, she's wearing the outfit. I
This
didn't
Oh
is
know
yeah,
the
there's more
Halloween
posters above as well. Yeah, it's all Captain Marvel really.
Who's the co-star here? The guy that seems to be in. Probably like
That
your
is
best
actually.
friend.
I'm kidding. I have no idea what that is. It's your best friend. Yeah.
This guy. Well, I don't think we saw his face his entire
If
trailer.
he's trying to be evil, I'm gonna leave the show. Don't be.
I think
evil.
he is. I might have heard he's supposed to be a love interest. I can't.
I hope so. I mean, I don't want him to be evil. That'd be. Ugh, I hate that cliche.
Yeah, can we stop? Can we stop making our close friends evil?
Exactly right. It's such a boring
Please.
cliche. Like, oh, you got
Please.
Yeah, she
betrayed
got
by
more
me.
posters
Oh.
up there. But yeah, like this is like a nice like kind of like the Cassian thing we got for Star Wars.
Yeah,
nice little
agreed.
production tease.
Yeah, and it's all Captain Marvel stuff. It's so cool. And yeah, we saw earlier too. They were looking at like the costume that for Halloween that she's gonna buy. That we saw set photos.
Yeah, and oh yeah, let's go back to I think there's a shot of that.
What?
It's pretty.
This is
sprinkled out.
most evident of one of the Marvel series going into the movies because I mean later in the panel we get the Captain
Yeah,
Marvel
direct
series.
tie-in. Yeah.
So it makes me wonder, like, what the Loki series is going to affect, or like what is Falcon and Winter
Yeah.
Soldier going to affect, and like which ones they choose to like leave out of the big continuity versus having the subset stories. So it's going to be interesting. I think they'll probably do both. I think I'm glad about that because I think there's something special about having like your own little TV world and just your show, and also like connecting the bigger stuff because it is comic book, and like why wouldn't we have fun with that?
Yeah.
But
Oddly enough, Marvel, which is known for all its connections, we haven't seen any of these shows yet, but it might do a better job of having its own self-contained story than like a Mando show, which is having season 2 with a
someone
backdoor
tweeted
pilot
that
that's
exact
every-
thing, Evan, and I was
Oh,
like,
really? Oh, I just thought about that in my head. Yeah.
yeah, no, and you're absolutely right because it's like these shows feel like they don't feel like extension. They don't feel like extensions just to have an extension. They feel like they're like naturally moving on for a character, or there's some genre that they're playing off of. Or
For example, they're not going to have in WandaVision, they're not going to bring in Iron Man or Hawkeye or whatever. They're just going to have their own story. But then guess what? You'll see that character in a new show or in a new movie. And same thing with Miss Marvel. Self-contained Miss Marvel story, most likely. I don't think any big character is going to be in the series. And then she herself will just appear in a different movie, which is really cool.
Yeah, I'm super looking forward. Otherwise, I mean that wraps
it up. Yeah.
Public videos, but like in continuing with the tweets, they tweeted Brie Larson returns as Carol Danvers in Marvel Studios' Captain Marvel 2, directed by Nia DaCosta. Joining the cast are recently announced Miss Marvel, Iman Vellani, and Monica Rambeau, played by WandaVision's
Teyonah Parris.
Captain Marvel 2 flies into theaters November 11, 2022.
This is our first new release day, so my release calendar has to change for all these 2022 movies.
Oh, you're right.
I knew the 4 together in like half
right.
They weren't gonna
Yeah, like so. Thor was
I'm
originally.
trying to think what our predictions were because we made a set of. We all had different set of predictions of what our 2022 ones were gonna be.
I still don't know how like the Strange and Thor like back to back
That changed.
still together. It did.
That changed. Yeah, we're gonna get to that, but so
yeah. Didn't I read? Is Strange still coming?
Strange is coming the same date, I think, or
March.
Strange
Okay.
Strange is still March. Thor is now.
Oh, it's
moving
March.
To May.
Oh, yeah, Thor is May. Strange is March. Interesting.
Okay, that works. All right, cool.
I'm also.
We still.
But when's
like
Black Panther? Because Black Panther 2 is technically.
We'll get there. I'm reading through all the different stuff.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was just trying to.
Yeah. So Captain Marvel was originally July 8th, but now it's coming out November 11th, 2022.
I mean, I feel like Marvel is such a powerhouse; they could really just drop anything anywhere, and it'll probably work.
Exactly. So what's the next tweet after Captain Marvel?
Original Avenger Jeremy Renner returns to star as Hawkeye, teaming up with well-known Archer from Marvel Comics, Kate Bishop, played by the amazing Haley Steinfeld.
Which is great. They didn't announce any of the new casting, which had gotten confirmed over the past week. Because last week we talked about the rumors of Yelena Belova being in the cast, but over the course of between our last podcast and this week, they confirmed a number of people joining the cast. You have like what's it called? Kate Bishop's mom, played by Sofia Vergara, but
Via Farmiga.
Via Farmiga, yes, thank you.
Yeah.
She's gonna be playing Kate's mom, and Yelena Belova is like heavily reported on to be in the show, which is played by Black Widow. So that's really awesome.
Yes, very exciting.
It also somebody said that's 2021 as well. Is Hawkeye confirmed 2021? I didn't see that.
The tweet doesn't have a date.
Yeah, so I assume it's a 2022 show.
Probably.
Somebody said 2021, so I was like, I don't know.
There's just so much on the set.
No, 2021 is so we got WandaVision top of the year into Falcon Winter Soldier, into Loki, into What If, and then I think that's it because then in the fall. We have Eternals and Spider-Man 3, so it's like
and Black Widow somewhere in May. Yeah. So everything's pretty stacked there.
They do have the cast here. I'm wrong. They have Via Farmiga, Alika Cox, Maya Lopez, and that's about it. They didn't say Yelena Belova here.
I was not aware of this. This intrigues me for this next tweet for She-Hulk. She-Hulk arrives to the MCU. Tatiana Maslany will portray Jennifer Walters / She-Hulk, and Tim Roth returns as the Abomination. I did not know that. Finally,
that was new, I think.
Being put on ice, he's returning. Returns as the Abomination, and Hulk himself, Mark Ruffalo, will appear in the series, which is funny seeing.
We knew that, yeah.
Yeah, it's also just funny seeing like Mark like interact with like old Hulk actors, like.
He's been so excited because he's always the one saying like I had a conversation with Feige for how we should continue Hulk's storyline post Avengers.
Well, Universal's the ones that are like they don't want to play nice. He says
he's super excited for continuing his character because we always talk about which Avenger really wants to continue their story. Like we think Jeremy Renner is probably done after Hawkeye, but Mark Ruffalo can go on for the long haul. I don't think he wants to leave this character.
It was funny.
And it says directed by Kat Coiro and Anu Valia. She-Hulk is coming to Disney Plus.
Yep, another 2022.
Kevin during the panel is pretty funny. He's like, she has to apparently she's 6'7", like that. So like
as She-Hulk, probably
as She-Hulk. So I'm like, oh my god, how are they gonna like?
I didn't hear that.
I imagine on set they're just gonna have like the K2SO as like the little stand head. It's like, all right, we gotta fill in the dots.
There'd be a lot of sitting down scenes or something. Yeah. So that's exciting. Moon Knight, an original series about a complex vigilante, is coming to Disney Plus. That's it. No mention of Oscar Isaac or anybody.
Well, there was an interesting. He mentioned Indiana Jones like as a tone reference. I'm like, he's like
I think probably
Indiana Jones adventure, and
I
then
think I
like
probably put, like, the
battling with
artifact
inner
type
personalities, and I'm like,
Yeah, it's the whole
that's
artifact
awesome.
part, right? Because this is the guy as we talked about. He goes to some part of Egypt, and then like he gets
Oh
betrayed by
yeah,
his
that's the other
people,
thing you
And
said.
and then
there's like an Egyptian spirit element with it too.
yeah,
Yeah.
he crawls into the Egyptian tomb, and he's like about to
This
die.
is makeup.
And
This
then
is just a
yeah,
makeup for Apocalypse, guys. This is a makeup
The-
for X-Men Apocalypse. So
it really is.
Isaac had to sit there
Yeah.
in the little.
Yeah, Moon Knight seems like an Indiana Jones in a grounded take, but it's also going to be very
internal
cos-
too, because like this
internal. I don't
battle
want to say
with the
cosmic, but just like
personalities.
It's
yeah,
probably
gonna
like
be crazy.
Indiana Jones Batman
Yeah, that
Yeah,
has
that's
super
super cool.
exciting.
with
Flash.
split elements.
But now we have a new show they announced after this.
Yeah, this is insane. Hello. Samuel L. Jackson is back as Nick Fury, and Ben Mendelsohn from Captain Marvel returns as the Skrull Talos in Marvel Studios' original series Secret Invasion, coming to Disney Plus. And now, since I see they confirmed Talos, this is very much Skrull related. And I was intrigued to hear because I thought they weren't really going to go the route for the storyline with Skrulls because that's more villainous.
Yeah, Skrulls seem to be like the good guys as of Captain Marvel. Things probably could have changed in what's it called since like the big snap. I don't know.
Ma-
Yeah,
Captain
because now
Marvel
I'm
had-
wondering because
yeah,
the Captain Marvel post-credit scene, right?
she was gonna go fight the Kree. Like she was gonna go back towards
Yeah,
the Kree.
and that
right?
was still in the 90s era. But also we
Mhm.
see in Far From Home, like the Skrulls are still helping out Fury. Fury is literally around a bunch of Skrulls in the space station in the post-credit scene.
doesn't
Yeah,
even
so
the
when
movie.
is this gonna take place?
He
I
says
just don't-
like in Far From Home, doesn't Talos say like there's Kree sleeper cells in Earth, or Kree or Skrull sleeper
Maybe
cells?
I need to rewatch that.
Me too.
Yeah, I
There's
cannot
a
tell you that.
specific line where he says like there's a Krieger Skrull sleeper cells which they have to take care of. That's why he has Talos on the ground and Nick Fury.
Maybe in Captain Marvel he says that.
No, in Far From Home.
And Far From Home.
I don't know because they didn't like reveal until the very end credit scene where they're still talking
Yeah,
about people.
it's a line when they're talking when Talos is talking to Nick Fury's assistant or whatever person driving the car.
So, regardless, though, so what is exactly Secret? Because everyone's like, oh, it's the biggest comic. They said in the thing, it's like the biggest comic thing in the last 20 years or something.
It is because like a lot of it is just like you really don't know what characters, including the ones you know best, could just be an imposter Skrull and not the original one.
Mhm.
I mean, it could still have like those have gone through those events and developed those feelings to them, but you just don't know that they're a Skrull and not the original body or something.
yes,
It's a lot of like imposter syndrome trying to grapple with.
And will this play into the larger? Do you see this show being a catalyst for like the larger MCU? Like,
Well, I
forward?
would have anticipated like a lot of people have pitched like Secret Invasion as being like the next big like end game level event to lead up
Right.
to, but hearing that's just a series, that's interesting.
That had me
Mhm.
excited because I really didn't want them to do Secret Invasion theatrically. It just seems like a boring concept. I know it's kind of like
Well, it also seems
but-
kind of it also seems kind of sucky if they just take like an existing character and just be like, but a villain. Like,
Right.
that's a-
Exactly right. Like
It's
Secret
cheap,
Invasion
yeah.
never appealed to me as a big
Yeah.
comic event that we have to see this in theaters. Like this is going to be the next big build up because spoiler alert, somebody's going to be a Skrull and they need to find that out. It doesn't have like a big like theatrical like Avengers level potential to me. So I'm very happy that it's going to be a series and it's most likely going to be something very on the ground since you're just bringing in Nick Fury and Ben Mendelsohn. But Feige did mention during the panel, like, this is going to be an event series. Like, there's going to be a lot of cameos in this series.
That's what I was
Right,
gonna.
Carson?
My next
Did you
question
mention
is
that?
like, my next question is like, do you see like Nathan's point of like, you don't know who it's gonna be, or like, do you see the like cameo roles? Because I mean,
I
with
think
Samuel Jackson, he's a glue of. His character is a glue of everything. So it's like I
Yeah,
can see people
what I
showing
would-
up in this.
What I would hope is that like the invasion starts presently. So if it starts replacing people, then it's after we've already gone through stuff. with
Right.
them.
It's not like a character has been a Skrull the entire time, and then
Yeah, which
our
a lot of people
entire
theorize.
knowing. Yeah.
Which a lot of people theorized, even like since before we first met the Skrulls and Captain Marvel, like before we officially got to them, people were theorizing stuff like that. Like, is Rhodey a Skrull or something? Like,
I see. Yeah, that's the kind of thing that got me so upset, annoyed. I'm like, they're not going to
Yeah.
reveal an end game or whatever. That like, guess what, guys? He's not Hawkeye. It's like, okay, and Like it sucks.
It doesn't do anything except maybe just set up the scroll, but that's
Right, yeah. But this is coming out after Captain Marvel 2, so maybe Captain Marvel 2 could have some what's it called? Some kind of tease towards scrolls or what the present situation is regarding the scroll.
There could be I would be intrigued in like a scroll Civil War faction, maybe, and that could be reasoning.
That could
right,
be
and it could be on the brink of like it could be on the brink of the bigger conflict, but then we're mostly focused on the point of view of like Talos and Nick Fury like trying to solve it so it doesn't become a bigger thing, which I think would be
exactly cool. So it could be interesting because we could probably see the scrolls revolting against like Captain Marvel, possibly like because she's so like anti-Kree right now, like as of the 90s or whatever. But we didn't know what she got up to during those 5-year time skip between Infinity War and Endgame.
She's probably also elsewhere, like doing a lot of other stuff. Maybe that just absence of her could cause
the absence of her.
Yeah, the whole reason as to why she was away in the first place
was something big was happening. So maybe the scroll relations got worse, and then they decided to do a secret invasion. And I'm just very curious to see what kind of Marvel characters go into this, because I think Feige said during the presentation that this is going to have a lot of characters. Like this is going to be a big event series for Marvel Disney Plus.
Absolutely.
But moving on next, this one really surprised me.
I was stunned to hear this. This is way cool. Coming soon to Disney Plus, Dominique Thorne,
correct,
is genius inventor Riri Williams in Ironheart, an original series about the creator of the most advanced suit of armor since Iron Man. That's nuts. I didn't think they would do Ironheart.
Didn't we hear about this like a long time ago?
A lot of people have speculated and stuff, and like it's one of those things where like maybe they'll go. Also, again, another added to the roster of Young Avengers.
Yeah, we have a lot of Young Avengers, by the way. Yeah, we should do a roll.
That's what I wanted to ask you about at this point of the announcements. Is like, do you see what Feige's brain is doing? Like, do you think he's working towards that? And like with these, more singular characters, like obviously Secret Invasion and all that is different, but like
I
totally directly attaches to like the bigger stuff.
I definitely think a Younger Avengers is coming in Phase 5 at this point, because right now we have Miss Marvel, Kate Bishop, America Chavez, Ironheart, Yelena Belova, and that's not including the possibility of a Wiccan and Speed, the children of Wanda, if they do that in the WandaVision TV show. That's rumored. So there's a lot of different stuff they could go here, and Peter Parker as well. What's the question?
I do. Do you think they're going to do Peter Parker's parents? I do not.
No.
I think they made some amazing Spider-Man attempts, but they've wrapped that best they could.
But Ironheart again. Ironheart is so surprising to me because I don't know. I felt like they were going to take a break from the IP of Iron Man in general. Because of course, a lot of people are going to ask questions like, is Tony Stark going to appear as an AI in this series?
Yeah, I was about to say that whole thing is like a hologram Tony. I mean, we kind of got like a hint of it in Endgame, but that was just a pre-recorded message.
I don't want that.
Like the Tony Stark we know, I don't think has ever encountered or like mentored Riri Williams like he has Peter Parker. If anything, I would expect an AI left behind for Peter, and he still hasn't. It was just not of Tony anyway.
I actually read the Ironheart comic book when it first dropped, because I was so intrigued by the character. I read like the first couple of issues. I had to drop off because comics cost a lot of money, guys. So I had to drop off. But
let me ask you, Evan.
Yes.
On the character, because to me, it's that vibe of like, in the shadow. It's kind of like what we just talked about with Miss Marvel. I'm curious, how do you think they're gonna make this? Is it to be like a story with the suit and kind of like admiring Tony Stark, admiring like the Stark technologies, that kind of thing, or do you think it's its own thing?
It's going to be. It's not going to be as like Miss Marvel where she idolizes Stark. I think she's just a very good adventurer. She's a very good. She knows environment, of course. So I think she's a very good inventor. She's very genius. That's her thing. She's a very smart individual. So she replicates her armor towards the Iron Man like kind of nature. I forget where the Iron Man AI comes from. I'm blanking on it. But eventually that was introduced in the comic book series, and that became part of her suit.
I saw an advertisement for like I think it was the Contest of Champions game that Marvel has on mobile. It threw me for a loop because I'd never properly seen like a not live action, but like an iteration of this image. It was Tony Stark. He himself was a blue hologram, but was still operating an Iron Man suit. But like he was still like he was projected like as like being in the suit, but he was blue, and I was like, this is so odd, and I hope they don't do this with Robert.
Yeah, that'd be horrible.
But I really hope they don't have Tony Stark, and I know they're going to because it's Marvel and connections, blah blah blah. But I really hope they keep the Tony Stark thing to a minimum, if not at all, because I just want to break from Robert Downey Jr.'s legacy.
Give the obsession from Peter to Riri, and then let Peter grow into college.
That's what it seems like. So we could see months from now a report from THR saying Robert Downey Jr. is reprising his role as Iron Man in Ironheart. I remember there was a rumor forever ago. There was a rumor forever ago that Robert was going to have some cameo appearance in Black Widow. I don't know if that's true, but
that was
I don't think that's true anymore. Because I think timeline-wise, it would have lined up, of course, because it's during Civil War. But I doubt.
Even so, I don't. Yeah.
But yeah, so this was a very intriguing one. I like the Ironheart character, of course. More diversity is always great. So I'm happy for this. I can't wait to hear more about it.
Yeah, me too. And the next one was also intriguing to hear. Don Cheadle returns as James Rhodes, aka War Machine, in Armor Wars, an original series coming to Disney Plus. A classic Marvel story about Tony Stark's worst fear coming true. What happens when his tech falls into the wrong hands? I mean, that's basically the first two Iron Man movies, but
I know, right?
But this is intriguing because I guess it's also kind of like, I wonder if they would like do a thing of like bringing back like Justin Hammer or somebody to like, oh yeah, not finally having the little dance, but like he has actual like working the suits on his side and stuff, because they've done that in the comics too. There's like Justin Hammer iron suits and stuff. I would be intrigued if
always around. Yeah,
I would be intrigued if they do stuff with that. I would be intrigued. I mean, I don't know how Sony deals would work, but if they did like, because we had Iron Patriot in Iron Man 3, but that was originally like an armor worn by Norman Osborn in the comics. I wonder if maybe they could branch off something.
Who gets the armor or who gets the tech in this story? Do you think it's like more of a military kind of threat, or do you think it's more of like
Hearing this as well, I would also be I would be elated if they took another crack at Ultron, but like in a more serious tone.
Nah, possibly. I like Ultron as a character. The first thing that came into my mind was MODOK. For this series, I could see some kind of MODOK Corporation taking it and then tying into the development of MODOK, which is a famous Iron Man villain. But yeah, I'm excited to see Rhodes get the armor here again. I'm surprised Don Cheadle was going to continue on a Disney.
And where is this going to be timeline wise? I guess like for.
What do you mean?
You think it's just going to be another like present show?
Yeah, I think another present day show.
Okay.
Yeah. For sure. I think it's really intriguing as to like where things could go, just in terms of like, it's same as just like military competition of just like different weaponry, but it's such an advanced weapon, the Iron Man armor, that like so many people have wanted to get their hands on forever.
Also, in a different way from the other announced shows, this seems like a show that's only going to be a one season kind of thing. I could be wrong. That's what came to my mind at first.
I think also you could get a more interesting dynamic if instead of like the mentorship of Tony Stark for Riri Williams, you could have Rhodey.
Ooh, bingo! I like that.
Yeah,
that is a way to get me interested. You don't need Tony Stark. Have Rhodey come in there, and then at the end of the series, you can tie that into Armor Wars, where Riri could be in Armor Wars too. That'd be cool
for sure.
Yeah.
Will Pepper be back?
She could.
She won't know what
she's tired, man. She doesn't want this.
She doesn't know what she's doing. Yeah.
She's got goop to run. Come on now.
Morgan Stark. I don't know.
I thought Don Cheadle would be done with Marvel. I'm surprised he's back in any capacity.
I know a lot of people are championing for him to have his own show. So I think this could actually like be a good fill for instead of just a full War Machine show.
What's after that?
But
though?
yeah, I'm excited. The Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special.
Holiday special.
Wow.
Let's go.
So good. I
That's
love that my
insane.
camera's freezing, but yeah, James Gunn is back to write and direct original
And they're
specials.
filming it during the
2022.
Guardians 3 shoot. Amazing.
Perfect. That's so
Yeah,
good.
he said this is a holiday. It's going to be a holiday special on the holiday prior to the release of Guardians 3. So since this is coming out in 2022, it's not confirmed that Guardians is a 2023 movie, but it technically is.
Oh no,
now.
they confirmed it during the presentation. They said
Oh, did
Guardians
they?
will come out. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't hear that. Okay, yeah, so cool. Guardians coming out in 2023, probably May 2023.
Yeah,
Guardians
I would
loves
say
that May
May.
release.
Probably. Yeah, and this will be holiday 2022, no doubt.
Yeah,
Because Guardians 2 came out May
2017.
2017.
Yeah.
Guardians 1
Jeez.
came out
This could be
August something. Did it come out
August.
August?
First week of August 2014.
And that's when nobody knew about it, and then it blew up, and then yeah. So I imagine it has to be May. Like this is gonna be a huge movie.
Yeah, I
For
think
sure.
that's like the only. Let me see here. Yeah, this seems to
mentioned
be
Blade.
the only 2023 movie. Oh, yep. Blade could be 2023 as well. Yeah, I'm about to say, it seems like the only 2023 movie, Guardians 3. But we could have Blade, Guardians 3, and what's it called? Ant-Man in 2023. That could
Ant-Man
be
and the Wasp: Quantum Mania, the new title.
We'll get there. We'll get there. We're not there yet.
There's nothing to say. I just got a title.
No, I'll have plenty to say, sir. All right.
But yeah,
That's
I'm happy for the holiday special. You can just tell Feige always says it. He's a huge Star Wars fan. There's still that rumored movie he was supposed to be producing. So Feige doing like a homage to the Star Wars.
You know,
holiday
maybe
special would be a
maybe I
Guardian.
walked that at this point over some of the Star Wars projects that we're getting.
Hot take from Carson.
I'll
Yeah.
be, okay.
The
That's
next
tomorrow,
one.
guys.
The next one was also intriguing because when I first heard it, like before reading this tweet, I was like, "Really? Okay." But
I am literally just not hearing about this right now. I did not hear about this.
yes. Wait, hold on. Hey, Josh, what up?
Hey, what's up?
I feel like he's about to like spam something at me. I'm scared. But
No, we're all just yelling at each other and it was an
Right,
all cap kind of day in chat.
It really was.
Oh my god, trailer!
Hey, man, the what? Yes, Josh. Yes.
No.
So
right.
first one's okay.
I will fight for it in a moment. All right, but everyone's okay. So this is the project. Everyone's favorite little tree, Baby Groot, will star in a series of shorts on Disney Plus featuring several new and unusual characters. I Am Groot, an original series from Marvel Studios, is coming to Disney Plus. Now, when I first
What's
heard it, I
Will
was
Vin
like,
Diesel return?
probably because
For that
paycheck,
paycheck,
but
yeah.
also he only has to do voice work. It's fine. But yeah, okay. When I first heard this in chat, I was like, a Groot show? That seems odd. But also, it's intriguing because they're just like they're Baby Groot shorts. It's not like full like production.
Okay.
This is
Yeah.
the Ben Solo roly poly thing
Rollouts,
of the
yeah.
of the Marvel universe.
I literally did
I'm
not
here
hear
for
about this during the presentation. There was so much stuff happening at once. Wow. This is
Yeah,
really
it was
cool.
very quick.
So a series of shorts. Okay. So it's not really a TV show, just a series of shorts.
Yeah, I think the same way when they announced like, oh, what a Forky show from Toy Story. It wasn't. It was just shorts.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
So what's after this though?
Thank you, Josh.
Oh, thanks, man. Thanks for watching. Thanks for
Yeah,
the
no,
view.
we had to get it all out. We've been venting like for the past.
God,
2
we've been
hours
going for
because-
we will definitely overdo our stream budget this month. But all right, next
Disney can
Academy
pick up the check.
they'll freaking just bill me with copyright, but yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Academy Award winning actor Christian Bale will join the cast of Thor: Love and
Oh,
Thunder
yes.
as the villain Gore the God Butcher in theaters
Yes,
May
so
6th,
awesome.
2022.
What a comic name! Can I just say,
Oh,
like that's the
oh.
coolest character name I've ever heard.
Yeah, and if you look up like the face, like that's an alien. This
Yeah,
dude
look
has
up the
been-
design, guys. The design's really awesome. I haven't.
This isn't going to be Christian Bale in like face paint or anything. This is going to be like a
Right.
motion capture performance or something.
Mocap roll.
Yeah, it's like he's a villain. I think he was introduced in the female Thor comic books, right? The Jane Foster Thor comics.
Yeah,
I
which
think-
is the storyline they're going for this one.
Yeah, so it makes sense that Taika is going to pick Gore the God Butcher here, and Gore is one of the biggest cosmic threats that Thor has ever faced. At least the lady Thor, or female Thor. I forget what they're naming her. I think she's just called Thor.
She's just Thor, yeah.
She
It's
is
like
Thor,
how
yeah.
it's like Spider-Gwen is just Spider-Woman.
Exactly right. Yeah. So she's Thor.
They're
and yeah,
definitely gonna make that joke.
this is Gore the God Butcher, hence his name. He is a villain that has sworn to just slay all the gods, basically. One of his main abilities is that he gets to connect with a symbiote kind of thing, some kind of cosmic symbiote, which connects like with his blade and his like abilities. So he is a very, very, very threatening villain. On
You think
the
that's
level,
gonna tie into Venom? You think
probably not.
you think Tyga's gonna take the humor of Venom but make it better?
But yeah, this is an ancient evil. Going back to the last villain that we had, Hela. What was her name?
Hela?
Ragnarok.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Hela.
Hela. So Tyga's really getting these OP villains in his Thor movie. So I'm very curious to see how.
Yeah, this dude got Surtur. Like,
So I can see why they need 2 Thors now to defeat this guy, Gore the God Butcher. Because again, guys, this is a big, massive villain. It's a very cool design, very big threat. I'm very excited to see how Taika handles it. Please don't make it too goofy.
yeah. All right, the moment you've all been waiting for. Peyton Reed is back to direct the 3rd Ant-Man film, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Paul Rudd, Evangeline Lilly, Michael Douglas, and Michelle Pfeiffer all return. Catherine Newton joins the cast as Cassie Lang. Oh, okay. Probably from Endgame. And Jonathan Majors as Kang the Conqueror. That's right. We did report. I forgot about it. See, we got Jonathan Majors as Kang. You guys can get excited.
That's really the only thing that I'm excited about.
So far.
Yeah. Kang the Conqueror. I like that as a villain. Again, a Young Avengers villain. So
real
that's
quick,
really cool.
just real quick, the Venom sequel is Let There Be Carnage. So effectively, they're probably doing that storyline.
Yeah, I think all the Carnage fans want is going to be through the Venom movies. Like Venom 3 could be more Carnage if they really wanted to.
Venom 3, more Carnage.
More Carnage, even more Carnage.
I am here for it. That franchise can do whatever it wants to do.
Yeah, it's going to do its own thing. The Venom franchise is going to do its own thing. But yeah, so going back to Ant-Man 3, it's so weird for Marvel. Like I think Quantumania is going to be it's an awful title. I'm sorry. But I think
I think you just want to hate on Ant-Man for the sake of it.
Quantumania. It just seems so goofy.
It sounds like WrestleMania. Like it seems like a WWE pay-per-view. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
It seems weird.
Is there a comment?
Well, I think there isn't it. I think they were trying to do something.
Was Venom rated R? It's
No.
not.
The first one was
PG-13.
not. So they're not going to be rated R. It's going to be PG-13. I'm pretty sure. Right?
Talk to Andy Serkis.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they? They made $800 million. Like, they're not gonna...
there's no. Yeah.
You're right.
Anyways, but yeah, King to Conquer, Young Avengers villain, as we've been talking about, it seems to be that they're going to be leading up to a Young Avengers thing. They're definitely not going to kill off King the Conqueror. He's such a massive villain.
No, he should be really like one of like the along with Doctor Doom, one of the next big leading bad guys.
Easily. I could see him being a villain for a Young Avengers.
I think we also reported some rumor that I think something with the time varying authority from Loki could have an intersection with Kang. Yes, that
good call.
I would love that
time thing. Because I keep forgetting Kang is also like a descendant of Reed Richards.
He is, yeah. So yeah, Ant-Man 3, Cassie Lang is going to have a more prominent role in this movie because she has grown older.
That's cool.
So it'll be running in the family. I like that the title is still Ant-Man and the Wasp. So Evangeline is still going to have a co-starring role. No mention of Ghost from the last movie. I liked Ghost. I thought she was a cool character that had potential for better stuff.
They kept her alive. She got away.
She just fluttered around and like disappeared a few times.
She had potential though. I liked her performance and she had good potential.
Yes.
They didn't kill her off. But I guess
she didn't speak. I feel like she didn't even say anything.
Yes,
she had so many lines. Carson, rewatch a movie challenge.
I didn't love the movie either, but I think she was a bright spot in the movie. Anyways,
okay. But
yeah,
I know
Cassie Lang, Jonathan Majors.
Oh, I remember at the end. She was at the end, and then she was like, wasn't she like
she talked
trapped
the whole
in
film.
that thing?
Oh, we didn't mention it, but yeah, Thor is May 6th. It's not February 11th anymore. Thor is May 6th. Is Doctor Strange still March?
Yeah, it's listed for March, and then Thor is May.
Because it used to be Thor coming out before Thor was coming out before Doctor Strange. Now Thor's coming out after Doctor Strange. Is that going to mess up the Marvel storyline? Maybe not, since they're not related.
Probably not. I think they'll. I think if they're comfortable enough to like swap it that much,
they're not related.
Way,
and it seems more tied to
Thor seems to be doing his own kind of thing.
Now, what probably broke the internet most for Marvel news, and even with a full video motion logo, John Watts will direct the new feature film of Marvel's first family, Fantastic Four. Now, at first, the big news is, Fantastic Four, but I know you all feeling of the director. I will just say right now, if we can get, because a lot of people had mostly pitched in terms of Fantastic Four, they were like, it would be best to probably tackle them in like the aesthetic we've always known them, which is basically kind of like their 60s setting. I don't think they're going to do that, but I think
that was rumored for a long time ago.
Yeah, with Peyton Reed. But what I think, who would you prefer, Peyton Reed or John Watts?
The most vanilla directors. I don't know.
I'll flip a coin. I'll flip a coin.
Fair? Okay, fair. But also, let me just preface. I will say,
okay.
I with the like soft tones in Homecoming, when you get to those quiet moments, I think would work so well with the family. Stay on board with me, goddammit.
I'm on board.
When you have like the family moments, and if you have like the soft moments that he can do, we see in Homecoming, I feel like if he could transfer that will work the best. I think things will go cool. I think he's gonna have a fresh thing to deal with that isn't Spider-Man. I'm removing you both from the call.
Evan was losing. I kept looking at Evan's screen. He's like, what is that?
I mean, you say soft moments. I like Homecoming, but this guy didn't invent soft moments. He's a movie with a soft moment.
I know. I'm just saying he can do it.
Good job, John Watts, for having an emotional scene in a freaking movie.
I'm just saying he's capable.
He's capable of what? A sad scene? Every director can be capable of doing that. Peyton Reed could do that. There were sad moments in Ant-Man too. I'm just thinking. I'm sorry. He's just the most cookie cutter, vanilla David Yates motherfucker. Like, I don't care. like, this guy. What vision are you bringing to Fantastic Four? What unique style? Come on, Marvel. There are other directors out there that aren't in your building.
Especially with a property as big as Fantastic Four. It's like, you need to nail this. Like, why would you not get fresh talent and like someone exciting?
While the directing, I can see a story right now. While he's directing Spider-Man, he's like, yo, Kevin, I had this great idea for Fantastic Four. He pitches probably a very cool idea. That's cool. He probably had a cool idea for Fantastic Four. I respect that. But it doesn't mean you have to direct the movie. Like, I
will say you should give more opportunities to other filmmakers.
Yeah. I'm super excited for Fantastic Four. I wanted this movie so bad. I'm going to see it, obviously. I just feel like a director could have been more thought out, more unique, like their other directors, like a Taika, or whatever. But
I'm trying to think who I would pick. Like, I'm trying to think who my picks would be for. Like,
I will say, in terms of like, okay, but I will like in the credit of what he's done in his time with Marvel, I really love what he did of like bringing humanity to Vulture. I feel like he could. I mean, it's a grander scale, but I feel like it would be intriguing of how he would explore Doctor Doom. If they go that route right now, I don't know.
Great question. Do you think Doom's in the first movie?
Do we think Doom becomes Doom in the first movie?
Because Marvel is going the route of like OG comic books. Like, they want to respect the comic lore. They want to slow build this stuff out. Spider-Man didn't have Green Goblin in his movie. You think
it's going to be like a slow burn, like true to form origin? Like,
I do.
Start it over, wipe everything.
Doom wasn't in the first. I forget what issue Doom came in. Doom didn't come into a little bit later in the. I could be wrong, but I don't think Doom came in until a little bit later in the Fantastic Four run. I think you're going to start off here with not a mole man. I forget the guy's name, but like. There's other Fantastic Four villains out there. King the Conqueror was a villain, but
and like, there's a lot of importance in Fantastic Four lore. Like, that was the first appearance of Black Panther was in Fantastic Four comic. A lot of different things. I'll also be intrigued to see how they explore Doom when they get to him, because a whole thing there's two versions you could go. Is like either you could go the route where he is actually like maniacally scarred to the face, and that's why he wears his mask, or you could go the route of Doom where like he has like such slight imperfections from whatever the space accident was, that like, but because he has such like a perfect vision of himself, that's why he wears the mask, just to like hide his like tiniest of flaws. He's just like,
that'd be awesome. But
yeah,
Doctor Doom's one of my favorite Marvel villains. Like he's up there with Doctor Octopus, a Green Goblin for me.
The man rules a whole like piece of country. Like
he rules a whole country, and he's such a empowering figure. He's basically like, what if Tony Stark had no morals and ruled a country? Because and had magic on top of science. Like he has magic, he has science, he rules a country. He's a tyrant. He's a tyrant. He is a genius, but he's also
casting is gonna have to be so.
He's also like emotionally motivated. He's politically motivated. Like this guy is a complex character.
Yeah, it's like with like the cast, thinking of casting for like Norman Osborn and stuff. It's like it's someone you have to get to, like nail it, like and
yeah. This has to be a Josh Brolin level casting for like how good the Thanos casting was. This has to be
So also, what date do you guys think this could come out? Are you guys? I'm thinking of 2023 if they're announcing it now.
I'm thinking 2024.
For I think 2024 at the latest. Yeah, 2023 or 2024. If they're doing 3 or 4 movies a year.
November. I'm gonna go November 2023 if there is a November date.
If they're doing 3 movies a year, I can see 2022 being or 2023 being Guardians, Blade, and
Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four. That's 3 right there. 3 movies, and then oh wait, no, I forgot about Ant-Man. Ant-Man is already filming next year, so I can see Ant-Man being 2023. Ant-Man, Guardians.
You never know. There could be 4 movies.
Ant-Man, Guardians.
It's so funny. We were just talking about like who will they cast as Doom? Who are they going to cast as the Fantastic Four? Like
that's going to be ultimate casting. They're going to have to get some real.
The internet's either way. The internet.
I can see that happening. I can totally see that happening. You know how Marvel works. I can totally see them doing fan casting like that. 100%.
You guys cast as Doctor Doom. I'm trying to think of like who would.
We'll talk about that the next time. I can't. I'm terrible at fan.
I was just wondering if anyone like you had like a.
We're 2:30 in.
Yeah, I'm too tired. I can't think, but I think
I have a Mando. There's a Mando episode in 2 hours. Like.
Oh yeah. Wait. Lastly, let's mention the Black Panther stuff.
Oh yeah. So Black Panther. It said they will not recast the character, but will explore the world of Wakanda and the rich characters introduced in the first film. That wording really had me surprised.
So yeah, I saw your tweet, right? Like ensemble. You're thinking
it seems like an ensemble movie, which I think is a good route to go. It's not a bad idea to go like instead of Black Panther being, well, I guess they expected it to be a Black Panther trilogy or so on, even more about a focused Black Panther character. Now it seems like we could get a good story with Shuri.
If she can like follow Don Cheadle's words of advice and education, I feel like we can get back on track with
Shuri. But then also, of course, you have Lupita Nyong'o.
Nyong'o. And she has been cast aside for so long in France. Not cast aside, but she's been a side character. I love her to be forefront of these second and third movies.
And it's so funny, right? Because guess what people said coming out of Black Panther? They said Chadwick is great. Chadwick is the bomb. But guess what? People came out talking about Denai Guerrera, Daniel Kaluuya, Winston Duke, the cast. They kept talking about the cast of Black Panther. So by focusing on them for the sequel and having like the Black Panther family fight an antagonist or whatever, that seems like a great idea to go. And at the same time, you're going to explore the world of Wakanda even more. So the Wakanda is going to be even deeper dived into. So it just seems like a very great idea. That's a very good pivot for Ryan Coogler. And I'm super excited. And the release date changed for that one as well. That was going to be the May 2022 movie, but now it's coming out replacing Captain Marvel. It's now going to be July 8th, 2022.
Still only 2 months.
Still only 2 months.
It's bonkers to me that we can get this out in a year and a half.
And what did we say? We said like last week or a couple weeks ago they want to film in Atlanta starting in July. So film in July and then have it be finished by like the fall and
yeah, but the whole script, how do you?
Yeah, the script is an issue in terms of like.
Good point.
I mean, in terms of filming, though, I was intrigued because, like, thinking back to like the Star Wars panel, hearing Kathleen say they're building like 3 more volumes on top of the one they have.
Very interesting. Yeah.
Volume. Yeah.
The future. Yeah. Future's now, old man. Yeah.
So yeah, Marvel really knocked my socks off. What were some of you guys most excited panels from this or announcement? I mean,
just the fact that like the biggest drop of like the night and like I wasn't here. I was so sad. But I'm walking around like a Target grocery store, just like, oh my god. I'm all getting high. What Fantastic Four gonna announce? Okay, I'm stuck here. But I think
Fantastic Four was my most excited until I heard the John Watts thing. But I'm still like. I don't think any of the movies. There wasn't any new movie announced besides
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
4, right? Oh, Ant-Man and the Wasp. That got a title. We already knew.
I mean, are we talking about Marvel in general or just the announcements from tonight? Because if we're talking in general, like I'm all about the Spidey stuff first and foremost. That's my favorite superhero. But otherwise, I would say of stuff announced tonight. Oh, it's tricky. I mean, if I go off of like footage I saw, I still think WandaVision, but I feel like Loki has pole vaulted so far forward in terms of like the intrigue they have and the mystery.
Yeah,
Loki, I would go Marvel. I would go Loki, Falcon Winter Soldier, and Miss Marvel as like the things that like I wasn't really I didn't really know what it was or what it could be, and I got a better idea of what it is now. And I think those surprised me and like hyped me up the most. I think a lot of the other things like obviously I'm like excited for She-Hulk, but I really don't know, and Moon Knight, but I don't know much yet really to like, get excited yet.
That's fair.
And the movie stuff was just like, oh, this is when it's coming out. We're filming now. And so of course I'm still utterly hyped for Raimi's Multiverse of Madness. But again,
it's probably okay. To that point, it probably is Doctor Strange for me then. Yeah. After Spider-Man, because I love the concept, not just the multiverse stuff, but I love Doctor Strange so much. I'm so happy.
Right, and how big of an impact he's going to be. He's impacting 3 separate things right now that's going to tie into everything. So that's cool.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
On that note.
I'm with you guys. Yeah, this was Marvel really knocked my socks off. I was surprised by all this stuff they announced, and even Disney, even a lot of the Disney stuff, a lot of cool original content they have coming in the next couple of years.
Even
Pixar too. I mean, no sequel, not really any sequel route. I'm glad we're kind of getting into its own territory. So
the only thing that's related to a franchise is the Lightyear thing.
Yeah. And we're going to talk about all the Star Wars stuff tomorrow. Which it's funny because I think I have so much more intrigue from like Marvel stuff announced than a lot of the Star Wars stuff, or at least a few of the Star Wars stuff, because some of them was like
that's where I'm kind of.
But also, it's funny because I hear like a lot of the Marvel stuff and it's like Fantastic Four, like the fact that concept coming and everything, super cool. Some other things cool, but I feel like a lot hasn't raised to the level of hype that I heard of like they're making an Alien show. That's insane, like stuff like that.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? I think for Marvel, it's just the announcement of stuff gets people super excited. And I guess it was the plethora of what we got that got people so excited. By doing announcements back to back, it kind of raises the excitement on something that's not super interesting, but also awesome. Like Fantastic Four, we knew this was coming, but the announcement on top of all the stuff we got made it seem even bigger. So yeah.
And the fact that Marvel was after Star Wars, which I think made it like even, and it's just like Marvel's slate is much more robust, like just comprehensive right now, and just but also just non-Star Wars things from the Lucasfilm panel. I really like that new adaptation that they announced of a young adult novel set in I think Africa, which was super cool.
Yeah, I want to tie that into tomorrow as well because
we'll talk about that, and then of course Willow and stuff. I think it's cool that Lucasfilm is doing other stuff too that's kind of non-Star Wars. I always love new properties or resurgence of stuff that maybe they've touched on in the past. So that was cool. But yeah, honestly, the FX shows were so cool. I can't wait for Shogun and Alien, and it's gonna be amazing.
TV streaming is going to be great for the next couple of years, guys. Oh my god!
Yeah, I think we have officially incorporated TV into My Cup of Tea. It's not exclusively film, so
yeah.
Oh
yeah. We need to say it now. Like we're on this podcast, we're going to be discussing week to week WandaVision, Loki, Falcon and Winter Soldier. So this podcast.
We're not going to run out of content for like half a year at least.
Yeah, we're good here. Thank you,
if Carson picks up a comic, then we can go on forever. I'll be learning about the Time Variance Authority. We could talk about so many episodes.
Even if you don't have the time or money, like there's so many like great YouTube channels that like dive into like the history.
Yeah, summarize it and dive into it.
Yeah,
Comic Storians is a great channel. Yeah,
nice.
Yeah. Heck yeah. So. On that note, we'll wrap it up here before I have to jump on it to record again for Mandalorian. But with that being said,
God, I forgot it's coming out.
Or you could sleep.
Yeah, I won't. I need views, but also I just slip on it, get it done. But yeah, Carson, where can the good people find you?
You guys can find me just fully decompressing from all. I feel like I've just been staring at a screen all day today. I mean, I'm online all the time, but today it was a 4-hour investors call. It was a lot, and we got 72 announcements in the span of about an hour. So I'm just gonna try to relax, maybe watch Mandalorian tonight. I'm excited to break down all the Star Wars stuff tomorrow. I think it's good that we're sleeping on it at night. I probably would have had a lot of different emotions if I was right in the thick of the announcements, but there's a lot of good stuff on the horizon despite the flaws that I might have with some of the other announced projects. I think there's something for everything, and that's what you really want. Nothing really changed, but everything's changed.
Don't Evan, where can they find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter at HarrisEV9. It was a big night. We hopped on the podcast not 10 minutes after The Last of Us Part 2 won Game of the Year. So I was very excited about that. It's my favorite game of the year. It's one of my favorite games of the past decade. So I'm very happy that it won. Of course, the internet went ablaze because there's a lot of controversy. Not even controversy. There's a lot of hate against the game and whatever. But I'm happy that it won some awards at the Game Awards last night. Also, I mentioned it on top, but Attack on Titan has started. Season 4, the final season. So every Sunday I'll be tweeting about that. There was a Cobra Kai season 3 trailer today, which was really cool. So watch Cobra Kai, everybody. Besides that, I can't wait for tomorrow to talk about everything Mando related. See if they rescue the child, or Grogu, I guess. And we'll talk about the announcements.
And as always, you can find me here on the channel, and all our social media is linked in the description below. That being said, God, we are screwed on runtime by the end of the month. So that being said, if you enjoyed, we're gonna need a Christmas hiatus or something. So that being said, if you guys enjoyed, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe if you're not already. That being said, I hope you have a great day, and may the force be with you always.